told me when I was young, don't play with fire, be careful, son. But we were flames and fell in love. We burned the cities down, down. That's why you learned to listen. You won't be lonely if you fall in love over and over again and again.
How do you achieve your greatness?
There's no margin for error.
No room for mistakes.
You need total control.
Your success is determined by your grit.
It takes thousands of hours perfecting your moves.
And only the strong survive.
You think you've paid your dues?
You think you're ready to enter the arena?
Think again.
This is the Telkom Digital Gaming League.
This is where legends fight till the last second.
Where the action explodes straight through your system.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Dota players around the world. We're back. Some Community Shield action. A little bit of a change of pace for myself and Succubus. Normally been casting the Masters, but it is going to be some highly anticipated Dota this evening. We've got two of these big teams going head-to-head. It's going to be really down to the wire. The two teams, or let's rather say the team that loses the next two series is out, and the chances to actually go to the Masters is going to be shot down. So we're going to wish both these teams the best of luck as they're going to try and get their shot at hanging out with the big boys. They are going to be two teams that are going to be fighting up against the four lower master teams to see if they can earn themselves a spot in the Masters division. So it is going to be one of our first Community Shield Cups that I and Succubus is going to be casting. I mean, how have you been? I know we haven't had a chance to actually cast for the last 2 weeks. Things have just come up, and now we're back in it, and we're going to bring some Dota to the forefront.
Yeah, and it's pretty damn exciting. I mean, we've got the top 4 teams from the Sapphire Cup and then the top 4 from the Emerald Cup competing against the lowest 4 Masters teams. Now, this is essentially the fight for the Masters in July. So only two of these teams, basically two teams amongst the 12 teams here, can make it through and get them a spot in the Masters. So it's pretty damn exciting. We could have a whole new Masters lineup, but what is pretty ironic is that we have an APG Academy inside this tournament as well. So we might have 2 APGs in Masters this year, which would be pretty funny. But yeah,
to say the least.
Ventus-Masters was originally a Masters team. They were unfortunately in the lower 4. So now they're competing for their lives here to regain their place in the Masters. But there is some new players here. We do have a new lineup for Ventus. It did actually happen halfway through the Masters leg, season 1, basically. So, I mean, they've been showing a lot of promise, but there's new people like Becky. I'm pretty sure we didn't see him before, so it'd be really interesting to see his skills. And then we have some familiar names on the side of Mythic Gaming. None other than our Sargon, our stats guy. So rip stats, no stats for this game because of him. So and we've got the Precious Petunia, the Levi's, the Amons, and the Kuchin. So yeah, some very familiar names here, and it's going to be a pretty damn exciting match. But as you stated before, they've only got 2 lives. So if they lose 2 series in these knockout rounds, it's bye-bye. No more chances.
Good night, sweetheart. I guess it's going to be for the team that doesn't pull it through the series. So, I mean, the Dota has begun. The Community Shield is taking place rather quickly. A lot of games actually going on tonight. We're actually covering the Ventus Mythic game. There's a couple of other games that are taking place at the moment. You can find it on the DGL, on the Digital Gaming League website. You can find all the teams that are playing, and you can just follow who's winning. We're going to bring you this one live, though. Let's jump into it rather quickly. We're halfway through the draft, and we haven't even mentioned anything about the draft. So rather quickly, let's just... Yeah, well, I mean, Monkey King's been banned out, I suppose. That is quite a necessity to actually be banned out. I mean, I want to get rid of him. Earth Spirit, we've got Ogre Magi, we've got the Disruptor for the side of Ventus being banned out. For Mythic, they don't want to deal with the Centaur, the Weaver, the PA, or the Jugger. So really taking out those big cores. Ventus does get their hands on the Slark. So do you think maybe they kind of baited Ventus into picking up the Slark? Considering the lineup that Mythic has at the moment, not much that they can really do about the Slark.
There's not much they can really do about the Slark. I mean, Abaddon does have the Apathic Shield, but that only goes so far. I mean, Slark has a lot of nuke damage on his name, and obviously it doesn't cancel out the pounce, so you're pretty much stuck there. I mean, Apathic Shield into, Mystic Call's only going to save them just by a little bit. But they answered with a Veno. Now, this year we haven't seen a lot, and this is what I was really excited about casting this type of event, because in the Master Series, we've seen so much of the same heroes, the same lineups, the same bands, the same picks, and it kind of got a little bit boring. Like, I understand meta picks, but there are so many heroes that are so good in this meta, and just to see some of the first division teams, some of the Prem division teams come into this and facing some Masters teams, we'll see different hero lineups and different hero picks.
Well, I mean...
Veno's going to get eaten alive, though, I feel. To be honest, I mean, okay, well, SF's obviously the pick against that Ember Spirit there. So, I mean, you know how I feel about that matchup. It's either one or the other. I mean, Ember's sometimes win it, and Shadow Fiend sometimes win it. But generally, Shadow Fiend does pretty well against an Ember. And then obviously we have the huge wombo combos of the Magnus RP into the Warlock Chaotic Offering, but it's more the fact that he can put his Fatal Bonds on everyone that is RP'd and just it takes a massive amount of damage. And then obviously, SF comes in there with the Requiem of Souls and just explodes everyone. But the Slark is going to be creating a lot of space on this map once he gets that Shadow Blade into Echo Saber type of thing. And he's going to easily be able to deal with the Rubik and Venno. Venno, however, for me is toxic in lane. Especially when he levels up that Plague Wards. If he goes into like the off-lane position, because
Do you think, I mean, like in the past, a lot of Veno players have actually been trying to put Veno in the jungle and put like cliff wards up. I don't know if it's still viable, but
we could do that.
is
but
that...
The thing is, yeah, the Plague Ward duration is not that great for warding, so to speak. In a team fight, it may be great, but sure, if you haven't got money and your team's doing badly, Venom Ward's always nice. But I mean, if you really want him to get like ridiculous, you put him somewhere in the solo lane, off lane, that type of thing. He stays way back, levels up those Plague Wards, gets the Poison Sting, and then when the Plague Ward gets to like a full level, it's pretty damn hard to push up against that. It really, really is, because I mean, you have to deal with all these Plague Wards, it's cancelling out your Blink Daggers. It's pretty damn annoying hero. Plus, his ulti is huge. I mean, the damage from that ulti, it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it does damage over time. You get all the way to like nothing. I mean, if he just gets his ulti on you and nothing else, you won't actually die from it. But if he gets even one little Plague Ward attack with a Poison Sting on you and you're low enough, that Poison Nova is going to do a devastating amount of damage. Plus, I mean, the Venomous Gale is always nice for the slow. And then obviously with the Ember Spirit building up that Veil of Discord eventually, he normally does, the TV Boots Veil of Discord, that type of thing, becoming that huge nuker, that Ember Spirit. Having that along with the Poison Nova is gonna really hurt. And then you've got the anti-fun hero, anti-mage himself.
I thought maybe they go for something more exciting, like a Bloodseeker or like a Zeus.
No,
or like
why would you go for no? But like honestly, like anti-mage, when he gets to a certain point, honestly, he just becomes ridiculous. I mean, in this meta, he is retarded. But yeah, I mean, he can split push you for days. Anti-mage, when he gets to that tipping point, there's not much that can beat it. And honestly, it's going to come down to the wombo combos of Ventus. I mean, now you've got a global silence presence. You've got a Magnus RP, a Warlock ulti, a Shadow Fiend, and then obviously the Slark's just going to go feed on the Rubik, the Venno. They're going to have to place sentries at every entrance once he gets that inevitable Shadow Blade on the Slark. It's a very hard lineups here, but yeah, they've got a bit of survivability, a bit of anti-push on the Mythic Gaming, but I think when Ventus DOTA comes at them with these 5 heroes with all these ultis up, it's going to be very, very hard to do anything. Especially if they're going to get all disabled. Anti-mage they're going to have to try create space, which I'm assuming the Ember Spirit will try and do for the anti-mage. But is it going to be enough, is the question.
Well, that is going to be the big question. Is it going to be enough? So it's going to be both of these teams going to go to head to head and try and see if they can actually make something happen. Yeah, the Abaddon, that apophotic shield, if my pronunciation is probably incorrect, but can it actually dispel fatal bonds?
Excuse me, sorry?
The shield, the Abaddon shield, does it debuff?
It debuffs most things. It takes off track, most things, a stun and that type of thing. But the only problem with it, it takes off most of what I'm saying. Apophotic shield will take off most negative buffs, but the problem is you can only cast it on one person at a time. So I mean, if you get RP'd into fatal bonds, you can only literally save 1 or 2 heroes, and then the rest of the team will still be linked, which is a bit unfortunate. And of course, if you link to many creeps as well, you're pretty much screwed. And it's going to be hard, because when you've got tanky heroes like Abaddon, like an anti-mage, and you're linked up to your entire team, you're not going to feel fatal bonds as heavily as everyone else. So you're going to end up fighting with a lot of HP, and the squishy heroes are just going to die if they link to you. I mean, I've killed a few of my teammates with an axe when I was linked to them with a fatal bond. Yeah, I was killing the rest of the team, but I killed all of my own players because I was linked to them with fatal bonds. I mean, it's inevitable. It's so good against heroes that are survivable, because I think that's what the Abaddon is going to need to focus on. Is if anti-mage gets fatal bonds when he's big, he needs to actually just try and debuff it off him. It's going to be very hard.
Well,
choose who to save, essentially.
I mean, we're probably going to see him being building into the Manta as well, just so that he can actually cancel out the silence coming out from Silencer for the side of Ventus. It's going to be a little bit of a slow game, I would suspect, so far for Mythic. I mean, they've got some big calls on the line here. If they start snowballing, Ventus could actually stand quite a good chance against the lineup that Mythic actually has. But we'll wait and see how the game does actually progress. Let's go around and introduce the players and their respective heroes that they're going to actually be playing in the top lane. We've got Levi going to be playing our Baron. We've got A Monster going to be playing our Vino. Kun Chun going to be playing our Ember Spirit. And Kun Chun. And then we've got... It feels like I need to actually do like a Bruce Lee chop when I say it. Like Kun Chun. We've got Predictions Petunia. So I think he's left his alter ego at home. Precious is going to be sitting at home and making sure that everything's been taken care of. And Predictions is going to be playing the AM. And last but not least, going to wrap it up for the side of Mythic. Big shout out to my boy Sargon. We've got no stats from him this evening, as he has actually been playing. And he's been basically giving us predictions. For those of you that don't know, he's been supplying us with master forecasting, master stats, heroes that have been played, heroes that haven't been played. So your comment a little bit earlier about the Vino, he would have probably been bleak to hear about that.
Most likely. Anyway, guys, without further ado, we've got the Traxion on the Silencer, Kappa 420, but as we know, he is the one and only Vivid, playing that Slark, Fing Fang on the Magnus, Becky on that Shadow Fiend. I'd actually love to see how he plays it. And then last but not least, we have the Seer on the Warlock. Yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty interesting game. I'm just really excited to see, like, because we never get to see, this is one of the first years that we get to see, like, First Division and Prem Division teams face up. Yes, it is the lower 4 Masters teams, but we still get to see them in action against teams that are perceived as better than they are. So this is a time for them to really show what they're made of. And, you know, for me, like, a lot of these players that are on Prem or First Division teams actually deserve to be in the Masters. Like some of the players deserve to be, you know, where the Masters players are, because you know, they just have some skill and they never really get a chance to show it. So I'm actually loving this.
Oh, Courier doing some funny things here in the mid lane.
Fine.
Oh, Courier.
Courier's fine.
Alrighty.
What did Courier bring for him?
Just the salve.
And the salve, okay.
Yeah.
1v1 situations against an Ember Spirit. Yeah, you're going to want to salve, because that Flame Guard into Searing Chains hurts a hell of a lot. And especially to SF, that's so squishy. And he needs to accumulate those souls before he can really start doing damage with the Flame Guard onto the Ember Spirit.
It's actually pretty... It's actually pretty surprising that they actually have committed 3 to the top lane here for the side of Ventus against the dual lane here of Mythic. They don't send one of the... Maybe send Seer to the mid lane, the Warlock, to maybe just help out the SF. We know how important it is to actually get those mastery levels up, those necro mastery levels up. He's only sitting with 5 stacks. He's got a lot of it in denies, but not much of it in farm. Maybe the Warlock could help out a little bit in the early parts of the game.
Yeah, maybe, but I mean, like, you're gonna have to see. Ooh, okay, well, there's a huge Gale onto 2 heroes here, the Traxton and the Seer. He gets
first blood.
Pretty easy.
Easy peasy. The Silencer does go down there. Actually, may be able to pick up another Vivid, trying to escape. He's going to actually salve up. It's going to get cancelled out. One more right click. Double kill for Monster. And is this a farming Vino lane, or is it a farming Abba lane?
Well, by the looks of things, both of them actually have, you know, boots and a... That's kind of weird, because they both have things here. So, yeah, Veno does not have any last hits yet, so I'm assuming the Abba is farming here. Just looking by the skill build as well, going for that Curse of Avernus again. And again, it does stack up really, really well with the Veno's Gale, but he got a massive Gale on there onto the 2 supports, and then Vivid trying his best to save someone, but I mean, it's not going to really do much. And yeah, that Apathic Shield is so strong. We normally see this combo, well, we've seen this combo with, okay, well, looks like Silencer might actually go down here yet again.
Yeah, actually leaving the kill for Levi. So Levi's the one that's going to be the one that's trying to farm out the lane. They're going to try and see if they can get a return kill. So yeah, he's going to actually have to turn around and back himself off. But in the meantime, he does actually get the kill with that last bit of healing coming out from him, bringing down the Abaddon. And Shadow Word.
Oh, Shadow Word OP, but I mean...
And he's going to TP himself out.
You're really, really lucky there. Yeah, but I mean, unfortunately, we normally see the Abaddon, the whole Abaddon lane with a Weaver pick, but unfortunately Weaver was banned out, so I guess it's the next best thing. But as I said before, the Curse of Avernus with the Venomous Gale into Poison Sting, it is pretty nasty. I mean, that slow is pretty much impossible to run away from, and you don't have a big escape. The only guy with an escape really is a Slark, but if his pounce is being baited out, it's a pretty easy kill for them.
I mean, okay, so far, I mean, the side of Mythic's doing really well in this top lane. This off lane is doing wonders for the team. Not a very common combination that we see, but Veno's doing really well in the early parts of the game. What kind of items are we going to expect to see coming out from him? Is it going to be that Shadow Blade into maybe Eggs? Is he going to rush the Egg straight away? Is he going to be looking for more like supportish items? I mean, what could you suspect the Veno actually looking to pick up here?
I don't think Veno should necessarily rush Aghanims. I think something like Glimmer Cape, Force Staff, that type of thing, especially if he's not the one farming, would be a little bit more ideal here. Maybe just like, the Glimmer Cape into Force Staff, that type of thing. I mean, we already have the Ember Spirit most likely going for that Veil of Discord. Otherwise, I would say put it on the Veno as well. So, I mean, if it's one, not one, it's the other, but definitely... So I don't know who necessarily is going to be buying the mech here. And it doesn't look like Levi's going for that utility Abaddon. As he's going for the phase boots. He's going to these Curse of Agnes. So I'm assuming he's going to go for that race car Abaddon build. The Sanjin Yasha, the phase boots. Make him basically chase down anyone he wants to. Maybe even possibly a Radiance on him would be a good idea. But yeah, as for the Veno, we'll have to wait and see. I mean... I wouldn't suspect him going for rushing Aghanims. It's definitely a really good item on him, but there's just, I think there's a bit better items to go for here, considering that you are going against RP into Chaotic Offering and Global Silence. It's going to be nasty. You're going to need some escapability because Veno's not all that tough. If you know what I mean, he's got very little HP. He hasn't got that great movement speed. Even with boots, he's got a 330 movement speed, and that's thanks to his slow abilities. I mean, any hero that has a slow is generally a little bit slower on their feet, if you know what I'm saying. They've got spells to compensate for that. But running away, escaping is not exactly Veno's strong suit. So I think he's going to need to get something to make him just slightly more mobile. Even a Blink Dagger, Blink in Poison Nova. I mean, even if he dies, just
and then sacrifice, and then pretty much sacrifice yourself as the Veno. I mean, every time I play with the Veno, it's pretty much just like a techie suicide that you're expected to die. You just run in there. You drop your load and run out if you can, and otherwise, you just pretty much fodder for the rest of the team.
Well, pretty much. I mean, Veno is a very easy hero to take out and pick off. So, like, if you can maybe just get a Force Staff or Blink Dagger, something like that, just blink in, get your ulti off. Maybe even a Poison Nova or two if you really can. Just stay by the tower and put down as many Plague Wards as humanly possible, so for an anti-push. Something to that effect. I definitely think he's going to need to do that. I mean, he probably will die because Levi's going to need to save his Apothic Shield for his Anti-Mage or the Ember Spirit, or even himself, since he is looking like he's going for that offlane, well, the core, a core Abaddon. So yeah, he's going to need to use his Apothic Shield somewhere else. So I mean, the poor Veno is going to be left out to dry, basically. But as long as he gets his ulti off in a fight, that's pretty much, he's done his job. And even if he dies, he's done his job. So yeah, I don't know. I could be wrong. We could see something.
Do you think it's a good idea trying to run the Abba as a core, considering that you have like an anti-mage that is going to be their biggest core? Then you've got the Ember Spirit that's also going to be doing some heavy lifting to the mid to late game part of the part of this game. Or do you think that Abaddon's going to be like that early hero? They want to get online really quick, that they can start taking some early fights. Because I mean, even with that said, I mean, anti-mage is sitting at 27-9. He's 10 loss hits above their mid. I mean, he's doing really well.
Very well. He's really farming very well, but again, he's been having really great support from Sargon. So, I mean, Sargon's just gone to go fetch the other team's bounty rune. So Sargon's not rich, but he's getting his levels pretty fast as well. He's now level 4, almost level 4, and I mean, his carry just reached level 4, so he's doing really well for himself here. I generally like when supports do this and leave the carry sometimes alone, so that he gets your carry gets to like level 7 when you're still level 5. Basically, it just means that he can do more. Press Junior can do more with his farm. But yeah, we'll have to see how it pans out. But yeah, definitely, I think Abaddon Abaddon being a core in this game, especially with the lineup, is a very, very good idea. He's going to come online relatively early. It's a very hard hero to get rid of early as well, thanks to the Gothic Shield and, of course, the Borrowed Time, which is pretty damn frustrating. So, and with the heroes, like, you know, like they have the huge ultis, it's going to do massive amounts of damage, which will trigger his ulti, and he's just going to get all his HP back. So, and especially if they get linked. Oh,
Becky.
that was really close.
Oh,
I
Becky.
just saw low HPs. I clicked there at the last moment.
Becky. That Fury Fire was magical.
Clutch Fury Fire.
It was
Also,
magical.
Luckily, the Flame Guard also ran out just in time as well for him to get the last Shadow Rays off. But yeah, that was very, very close.
I mean that's beautiful when you keep quiet, everything's going peaceful, and in the meantime, like mid lane's having an absolute gargantuan battle. You come in the nick of things, and you just see, okay, Fury Fire popped, Flame Guard doing some work, and Ember Spirit goes down. And I mean, as you said,
Having some time here. Hold on.
is he going to go down as well? And that Plague Ward just doing so much work. He just TP's out.
Levi, learn how to last hit, bro. You're getting beaten by Plague Wards.
I mean, and they do less damage than what a Techies does. So, I mean, for that to actually happen is absolutely unbelievable, really.
Well, it's also the Plague Ward applies, the Poison Sting applies to the Plague Ward once you level it up. So it's not just a right click
DPS,
thing.
it's a damage, that dot.
It's not damage really, the Plague Ward damage. It's more the fact that it does that poison over time, and it also slows you down. And then you got the Curse of Avernus as well. It's just like, how are you running away from that? Yeah, poor Warlock's only level 3, so I mean it's been a tough game for him. The lane's winning pretty well.
Like, I mean, if we look in the beginning part of the game, I really think that Ventus had a little bit of a better draft in the early parts of the game. I mean, any team with anti-mage really kind of wins the late game. But I mean, looking at their draft, I really felt that Ventus had a stronger draft. Not saying that it's over yet, but considering what Mythic's are doing at the moment, the amount of kills that they're actually getting, they're doing really well. Where do you think maybe Ventus's error is at the moment? But hold that thought for 1 second in the bot lane. Fling Flan trying to finish off Sargon. Yeah, he's going to go down to that last little bit of damage coming out from Silencer. Fling Flang, he's coming to the party now. Predictions, Petunia going to get that last right click, bringing down Silencer as well.
I think you could actually go and kill Fling Flang as well. Don't be scared. Come on, do it. You know you want to. Blink.
I think he's just maybe trying to draw out a little bit of...
There we go. Finally.
Alright, he's going to blink forward as predicted. And out he comes out. Double kill for predictions, Petunia.
Oh,
wow.
But in the meantime, we have
top lane.
Getting chased down here. Oh,
Lever.
That's slow.
Sia actually healing himself. What kind of support are you, Sia?
He tried to heal the Slark, but unfortunately Vivid went down just way too fast. I think he did heal Vivid first, and then waiting for that Shadow Word to come off cooldown basically, and just unfortunately it just didn't work in time for him. But yeah, I mean, how are you going to get away with this? I mean, you've got Plague Wards everywhere. Okay, hold on.
Well,
Becky with double damage, yeah. Is he going to be able to do anything? Oh!
Borrowed time. He's actually timed it just right to actually deal damage, but he's going to TP out.
Oh, no.
Lose top
they
one
let the
tower.
They let the Plague Wards take the tower. That's unfortunate. I think Becky maybe should have focused the Plague Wards, denied the tower, instead of trying to chase a kill on the Abaddon that he just wasn't going to get.
Becky. Oh, but bot lane. Predictions for Junior is going to blink away. There comes out the telekinesis, bringing Fling Fang back with the skewer. Comes out the shockwave. But A Monster and Sargon, they're just too happy to right click down Fling Flang. Fling Flang, he's just going to try and get out of there. Not too much they can actually get from that. They're going to shrine up and chill. In the meantime, the Radiant Kunjun is actually going to use their own shrine, and things look like they've actually eased off for a second, should I say?
Not really. I mean, now they're gonna send the Abaddon into the bottom lane or the mid lane, and they're just gonna carry on doing what they're doing. I mean, Plague Ward's at a nice level at the moment. It's at level 3, which is, you know, pretty annoying. He's dropping very low here to the Silencer. He's gonna have to watch himself here now. But yeah, I think once Ventus has their ultis online, they can maybe take a bit of a better fight. The problem is that Mythic is out-leveling them by quite a bit here. So, I mean, they're just going to have to stop taking these silly little fights. just get their levels and then regroup as 5 when everything is up. Because then trying to take on the snowballing Abba and Veno lane constantly, it was a little bit silly. I mean, they could have maybe rotated some supports mid and tried to kill off the Ember, or done more to shut down the anti-mage here. That's basically just free farming. But as I say that, I mean, SF is catching up quite nicely. He's now sitting at 64 for 24. So he's got a nice 36 souls of regen rune in his bottle, but he's going to get sidelined here by 4 heroes.
Oh, Becky is going to find the definition of what a gank feels like. A 4-man rotation, picking up their mid. Beautiful rotation. I mean, dropping Becky's Necromastery is a huge deal in the top lane, though. Levi just giving a little bit of love to Papa Kappa, also known as Vivid, going to leap over the trees. Okay, not too much action there. A little bit of an anticlimax. Thought there's going to be a little bit more action there. But, I mean, Becky going down, big deal for the side of Mythic. I mean, one of those heroes that you don't really want to get online.
Unfortunately, he was like literally just ahead of net worth, and now, thanks to dying there, he's now only sitting at 4.1. But I mean, it must be said, I mean, he's keeping quite a good net worth relating to that anti-mage. Anti-mage is at 4.8, he's at 4.2, so not doing too badly, the SF. But SF unfortunately does not outcarry an anti-mage, which is, you know, they're gonna have to start doing something. I mean, they're gonna need level 6 on this Warlock. This poor Warlock's still sitting at level 4. They need to do something about this, because they need those ultis to fight. They really, really do. And I mean, Becky also has not leveled up his ulti just yet. So they're going to need to wait for those things all to come online, get the right opportunity, get the blink dagger on the Magnus, which is quite far away. I mean, he's still sitting about 1,050 away from his blink dagger. So it's quite a bit. And it looks like he's going to go down here again. Okay, no, Sargon's going to get the hell out of dodge. It might actually be able to catch up to him, but Petunia is there, so maybe not the brightest idea. Hold on, okay, I think Sargon is pretty dead here.
It's taking a lot of damage, and it was good knowing you, buddy. It was good knowing you. How about them stats, boy? What's Sargon's current KDA?
Sargon's current KDA is still 2-2.
Oh no, in the meantime, we're having a laugh and people dying left, right, and center. Becky picking up a kill against a monster, putting an amazing 450 gold in his pocket.
Yeah, that's something he really needed. Now he's ahead of net worth again. Now he's at 5.7, which is pretty massive. That's almost 500 net worth above the anti-mage. So if he can just keep up this momentum, get his items up, push with his team. But Becky's, has to be careful here. Flame Guard is up.
So Serene Chain's going to be popped down. Becky's going to right-click down Kunshin. It's going to be enough for him to actually get out of there. He had to call in the USS Enterprise to get himself out of there, and he TPs away using his Remnant. I mean, considering the kind of start Becky had, I don't think it was the best. But
no, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I mean, he got a kill onto. He actually won mid, if you think about it. He got a kill onto the Ember Spirit with the clutch fairy fire.
Yes. So, excuse me. Yeah, he actually did. Sorry, I thought it was Kunshin that actually picked up the kill, but you're correct. Yeah.
SF won his lane pretty hard. He's also about 50 CS ahead of his opponent as well. So yeah, Kunshin's been doing really, really well. I mean, Becky's been doing really, really well, and I mean, no one really contested him either mid. So yeah, I think he's one of the only lanes here that actually won their lane for the side of Ventus. So they're gonna a lot rides on him at the moment for the early game. But yeah, he's finally leveled up his ulti. They've got sentries there. What have we stolen? We have stolen Shadow Rays. Yeah,
I think that's pretty much all he can take at the moment.
Yeah, that's pretty much all he can take. Yeah, the ulti is leveled, but it has not been used yet. But there's a lot of options for this Rubik. It's a very nice game for him, but can he survive long enough to actually steal something and get something off? That is the question. Levi being very brave here in the meantime. Yeah, okay.
Jeez,
an inordinate amount of damage from Levi.
That is disgusting.
Vivid, get out of dodge. Shame, he's also very far behind. I mean, he's still about 1,200 off from his Shadow Blade. But yeah, that Blink Dagger is very, very close for the Magnus as well. So I expect to see some epic plays very, very soon. We've also got the Warlock almost at level 6. It's like so close.
I know, I just saw that. Maybe just leave Warlock in the lane. Just leave Seer to just get some solo XP. And then just to try and get to that moment when the rock is available. Well, but Levi, he's going to, just waiting for the timeout, jumping over those trees and getting himself out of dodge. I mean, considering the way the game's going, they don't actually have a lot to actually deal with Slark. I mean, if Slark actually gets the farm that he needs, what do you actually do? I mean, He just has to Dark Pact out of the telekinesis, and there's not much the side of Mythic can actually do against this this
Oh,
lock.
then you just get sheep sticks, you get, you know, things like that to deal with them. But the problem with the
No
Slark is that
natural lockdowns, though.
yeah, there's no natural lockdown. Yeah, exactly. There's no real natural lockdown. But I mean, Rubik can always opt to steal the Magnus RP if he's not caught in it. You know, there are options there for them, but it's going to take an item or two before they can actually properly lock down the Slark. That's the only problem with it. But unfortunately, Slark is just one of those heroes where even if you shut him down extremely hard, he just gets one or two items and gets a few pickoffs on your squishy heroes on the enemy team, and he's doing pretty well again. It doesn't matter how hard you shut him down. It's just one of those disgusting little heroes over there.
I smell
yeah,
a team fight. I smell a team fight. Blink is up on Fling
Blink
Flang.
is up. So is Warlock ulti, so is Silence, everything's up for them. I don't think Vivid is actually going to join them here. I think he needs just to focus on getting his item up, well, at least one item like the Shadow Blade, so he can do something. We do have a Smoke of Deceit with the 3 most lethal heroes at the moment. They do catch up Precious Petunia, but...
Oh, there comes a Silent. They're going to commit it. There comes RP. Failed bonds on 1. I suppose Sears just throwing out everything. Going to commit Rock as well. And 2 ultis used to bring down Predictions Petunia. I bet you didn't predict
Actually,
that one, my boy.
That was 3. That was Global Silence.
Yes,
into
yes,
RP, and then into the Chaotic Offering, all for an anti-mage. That is a lot, and that's
Desperate.
a lot for them. It's not actually desperate, it's just like...
If we're going to use everything, let's just make sure that we actually close it out. So at least, I mean, Mythic has got a little bit of a breathing space now. The longest cooldown on their ultis is going to be Warlocks, sitting at 132 seconds. So they got a bit of a chance that Mythic can actually create a little bit of space. But at the same token, that was without the SF or Vivid being in the vicinity. So space created, I guess.
That was also just the anti-mage. And unfortunately, he doesn't have like any killing sprees or anything like that to his name, so they didn't actually get a lot of gold for killing him. But what they do get is 2 towers, hopefully, here. There's 1 and there's 2. So they traded 2 towers for not even 1. They all TPing back to try save the mid towers. So in a way, yes, it's a nice little trade. You get the anti-mage, you got 2 towers.
I suppose it's a decent trade. I mean, losing your aim is never good. All you do is kind of put him a little bit behind. But
yeah, but I'd say the anti-mage didn't really lose much for dying there. He hasn't got any killing sprees, no real items. Oh, but a monster goes down very, very quickly there. But look at this Veno ulti now. Look how much damage they're actually just taking from this.
they can't actually fight into this. They can actually take that easy tier 1 mid. And if they choose to actually push in, they've got that Shadow Word down onto Slark as well. As soon as he gets a little bit of distance, they'll actually regen a little bit quicker there with that passive of his. Yeah. You know, it was that big team play coming into effect, and I mean, a lot of ultis being used out. It kind of just shows you the strength here that Ventus does actually have, and it kind of makes me a little bit worried for the side of Mythic. I mean, they don't have...
I don't know, if they start expanding like 3 massive ultis on 1 hero, I mean, anti-mage...
I think it's
not
just a
easy.
taste. I think it's just a taste, though.
Yeah, it's never easy to pick off an anti-mage, and I don't think the Smoke of Deceit was necessarily used to go find the anti-mage. They just happened to run into him. So, I mean, they decided to use everything. But then again, they didn't have anything for the mid-tower. And if you look, I mean, they had a huge Fatal Bonds. They had Fatal Bonds on 5 heroes, well, 4 heroes there. If they just had their ultis available, they could have gotten 4 kills. Plus, maybe even the mid-tower.
Yeah,
If they had
valid.
their ultis there.
Valid. I suppose if
So,
they had
I mean,
held on to one of them, they could have actually defended it.
Yeah, like an RP or something like that, yeah. If they hold on to at least 1 ulti. I mean, Global Silence, yes, you're going to need to use it, otherwise Anti-Mage is going to blink. You don't have a Rod of Atos, nothing like that to stop him from blinking, so it's going to happen. And, of course, he's going to be getting that Manta style soon as well, so it's going to be even harder to shut him down. But, yeah, for me, it just seemed like a little bit of a waste to use 3 ultis for 1 hero. Especially, I mean, if Anti-Mage had like a killing spree of 10, you know, and he was worth 1,000 gold and maybe 2 levels each, then hell yeah, go for it. Go for that, go for the 2 towers, and then hell, you don't care if you drop a mid-tower. But yeah, I think they could have traded off a lot more if they just had like at least 2 of the ultis, maybe. They could have killed 4 heroes there with the combos they had, especially since Fatal Bonds was on 4 of them. So anyway...
Fair enough.
I've had my say, but Anti-Mage didn't really lose much. But Global Silence not being used for some reason.
Well, I think
Trying to catch up to the Ember.
That's not going to happen. No.
That's a problem with not having any reliable lockdown. You can't really follow up on a silence unless you have those huge ultis available.
Well, I mean, as you mentioned, I mean, Rod of Atos would be an ideal pickup here for the side of the Dire. If Atraxian actually picks up himself a Rod of Atos, could actually be the answers to their prayers. I mean, you pick that up. I mean, Anti-Mage can't go anywhere. Can actually deal with the Ember Spirit also really well.
Yeah, I mean, you can't remnant out of roots, so he's kind of just stuck there. He can't use his remnants.
Root this patch is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Root this patch is amazing. I gotta love it. Like, Crystal made it for me as one of the best supports now against that type of stuff. It's like, okay, you've got a Mirana, you want to leap? Nope, I freeze you.
No.
Like, yeah, it's just amazing. Like, any hero that has roots, it's just like OP right now. Well, for me anyway. It's just such a good. It's better than a stun. It really is, because they can still like, you know, blink out after that, and Atos generally lasts longer. Roots generally last longer than stuns, and they're literally just stuck there. But yeah, I think it will be a really massive pickup. I would probably put it on the silencer, to be honest, but it looks like he's going for that Hand of Midas, so not going to be seeing that just yet. But Hand of Midas is a really good item for the silencer, especially since when he gets to that level 15, he gets that 60 gold per minute, and that's going to help him just escalate his item progression, obviously his levels as well. So yeah, for me, Hand of Midas is an ideal pickup here for the silencer. Unfortunately, he didn't get it early enough. It's 21 minutes in and he still doesn't have it, so a little bit unfortunate, but still a good pickup. Still good.
You know what I do like is that that Ventus actually identifies, right, boys? They've got an Anti-Mage, they've got an Ember Spirit, they want to go the full 9 yards. They want to go until flipping 4 o'clock tomorrow morning kind of long game. And with that identification, even Fling Flang, the Magnus, he's also picking himself up a Hand of Midas as well. He's going to have it in, 350 gold plus minus, 200, 300 gold. He's also going to have a Hand of Midas. So 2 Hand of Midases on the side of Ventus. Their bad start kind of makes up for it now, because Anti-Mage wants to go to the late game. He wants to go to the finish line. He wants to go to a 50-minute game, which is just going to benefit Ventus at the moment.
Yeah, it will benefit Ventus, but also, Slot just got completely decimated there by the Ember Spirit, maybe in the wrong place at the wrong time. They actually didn't see what happened. I just saw HP bars drop very low, and then Ember being the culprit of that. But yeah, I think he tried to sneak up and get the bounty rune, maybe even trying to sneakily farm in the enemy jungle. That's, yeah. Looks like there is going to be a push here from mid, since all the ultis are up yet again. We do have the global silence as well as the RP and the chaotic offering, and of course that all. Ooh.
Well, okay, borrowed time is down now.
What do we steal?
Borrowed time is down. What did he get? Shadow Rays. Okay, that's not going to be good enough. We want to see some RPs being stolen.
I think if he gets on the Warlock, even the Shadow Word and the Fatal Bonds are still absolutely legit to steal, especially since you've got the Poison Nova from the Veno. I think definitely you get something like Fatal Bonds from the Warlock with the Poison Nova. Hey, now that's all I can say. Yeah. Using my chance here.
Why doesn't Ventus try and do something now though? I mean, all ultis are up. Borrowed time was off cooldown. Was on cooldown, and they just kind of back up from mid. What do you think their thinking is here? Why don't they actually push harder?
Because they're getting split pushed by the Anti-Mage. I mean, Anti-Mage just took the tier 2, so I mean, it's just...
Jeez.
Yeah, see that.
Jeez.
Bye-bye.
Silencer getting molested.
Is good at. Just split push.
But I mean, if he's going to split push, you know that's going to be part of the game. You know AM is going to be split pushing you. So take a big fight, win the team fight, and then TP back, and then defend the tower.
The problem is you need to kind of force the Anti-Mage into fighting with his team. So you need to be aggressive as hell. So the team goes, dude, we need you here, we need you here. Instead of him being able to split push, he has to be forced to fight with his team, which would be ideal. And the SF just goes down. Another kill to Mr. Precious Petunia.
Predictions,
with
Petunia.
With the help of Kuchin. I don't even know how to pronounce the name. So Kuchin, and then Sargon, obviously. With the blood Shadow Rays yet again. Dude, steal something different, please. That's all I see.
What has he got? What has he got? Shadow Rays. Come on, Sargs. Come on, give us something interesting. Look, I mean, that jump in the top lane, Becky going down after they just lost the silencer in that lane, like, I mean, you shouldn't actually be in that lane anymore. You see anti-mage there. You know you're going to be a center of attention. I don't think Becky should have actually gone down there again. I mean, and that goes again. You've got a split pushing anti-mage. You go down one lane and you push it. You push it for all it's worth. You've got all your ultis up. Once that's done, fall back, take an objective, maybe jump into rush, push out the lanes again. I feel that they're not making use of their big ultis that are online.
I'm just laughing at this Venno. He's being incredibly annoying. He's cancelling all the blink daggers up, but he does get his ulti off.
Well, they're going to bring down Vino pretty easy. The ulti does actually go off, and Levi, he's just actually going to defend that out. And I mean, okay, so they dropped the rock for the Vino. They're going to pop Shrine. They've still got...
Again, I don't think the rock was necessary to actually kill the Venno there. Like I said before, he's very squishy. He had like, you got Empower on your SF, and you got off your shockwave as well. He just needed a shadow raise or two. I think it would have been just fine. Global silence now being used up for the split pushing anti-mage is now sitting at the racks here at the bottom.
Made such easy work. Such easy work of Vivid. I mean, he dropped down, even silence coming out. I mean, it's not going to help if he's not going to want to blink out. And anti-mage, he just right-clicks him beautifully down. And in the meantime, Becky picking up the kill onto Sargon. They're going to try and pick up the kill onto Levi. Does pop out the borrowed time. It's now a little bit of cooldown. 1 second until he's got the shield. Back pops out the shield. Kunshin rocks up to the party. Gets force slide forward. Becky got to try and get the Requiem off. And only the Death Requiem is going to be the song of the day. He couldn't even get to the Mozart Symphony there. And 2 down. 3 down for the side of Ventus.
3 down for the side of Ventus, so it's a little bit unfortunate. I mean, we
RP's still available. RP's still there. We had
RP's still there. We've still
Requiem. I mean, that's when you need the rock. When they engage on you, like Warlock can't be throwing down that golem on a whimsical. He really needs it to actually be used to disengage or to extend the duration of the RP.
My problem with the lineup of Ventus, is that they've got no reliable lockdown. Yes, they've got huge, massive ultis like the Global Silence, the RP, the Golem, but with disables and stuns, otherwise they don't really have much in that. So they can't stop an anti-mage when he split push. It's a huge problem right now.
No, and I mean, on the back of that, they've just picked up the kill on Fling Flang. The mag is down, so no RP available while he's dead. So for another 30 seconds, no threat from the side of the Dire. I just feel that Sia needs to actually hold on to his ulti a little bit more and keep it for the big team fights, because honestly, that rock is what's going to reset team fights and actually give Ventus a little bit of the opportunity.
Look, Ventus have an exceptionally good late game draft. I mean, Magnus scales exceptionally well, so does Warlock. Silence, all of them scale exceptionally well late game. They just get better and better the later it gets. So if they can drag this out, it could just happen. Oof, Venno just gets
I mean, he literally ran in there to die. I don't actually know what he's thinking there was.
I don't know. I think he was thinking, okay, Sargon's behind me. You can help me, friend. I think the problem was that they were trying to kill the silencer, and then his friends just happened to be next to him. So, because they don't have any vision on the high ground there, they couldn't possibly see that, there was an SF there as well. So yeah, I think that was a little bit of a mistake. I think he thought, okay, I can get a quick, easy pick off on the silencer and get out, but no. Actually, what is the Venno? Venno is rushing ads. Okay. Interesting.
Okay, well, Becky goes down again to the split pushing anti-mage. Really not much use. Why didn't he even activate his Shadow Blade? I wonder what actually transpired there. It is off cooldown.
No mana.
Yeah, but as soon as you see an anti-mage, I mean, you just push that button and you just get out of there. You know what? Abyssal Blade on the anti-mage.
Yeah, I think it. Yeah.
MG.
I think it was because Abyssal Blade is on cooldown still. So I think he blinked in Abyssal Blade, the lovely Becky over there, and then obviously right click after right click, draining his mana, probably 1 or 2 lucky bashes as well, and just no mana left to Shadow Blade out of it, so ends up going down.
I actually haven't seen the strength of Ventus's draft. Like, I believe in it, and I think it could have done it right, but
they can definitely win the late game. The problem is getting there, because they've got the Venno, the Ember, the Abaddon. They're all like really good early to mid game heroes. I mean, Ember can get to the late game pretty well, but he doesn't really fare that well against all of this. Anti-mage though, being
Oh.
this big this early.
Double
it's not
searing
easy.
chains. There comes out the global. They're trying to find down Kappa. In the meantime, Precious Petunia making an absolute debauchery here of the side of Ventus. And they're going to try and see if they can find a little bit more. Anti-Mage, your little biscuit, picking himself up a beautiful little triple kill there. Coming out of the rush pit, picking up those kills. Well, that was a double kill, excuse me. I thought it was a triple.
Unfortunately, the Warlock ulti did not come to fruition, so they couldn't really follow up after that. And then the rest of the team trying to get the hell out of dodge. I mean, what are you gonna do now? I mean, look at this Anti-Mage. He's already almost got 4k in his bank. He just bought an Abyssal Blade, and now he's got Aegis. What are you gonna do?
You know what's really sad is, I mean, big ultis here for the side of Ventus is still off cooldown. I mean, we've got the RP, we've got the Rock.
Yeah, but it's just
Global
Anti-Mage.
silence was popped. Are you telling me Anti-Mage like bashed out Magnus, bashed out the Warlock, that he can't actually drop the Rock?
He just died. Well, the Warlock just died way too quickly. Unfortunately, Warlock was in the front lines and he's extremely squishy. So, I mean, if you get abyssaled and stunned, well, basically bashed.
Then let's
there's
talk
not much
about
you can do.
positioning maybe. Then let's talk about a little bit of positioning was a little
they
bit...
They were good. They were actually trying to fight on the shrine, but never got to activate it. So, and then, I mean, you had 2 heroes in the mid lane and 3 heroes on the high ground by the shrine. So your team was first of all split up, trying to get the hell out. Global silence is used, but then there's no other follow up because, I mean, Mythic's positioning was pretty great in that fight as well. They didn't really bunch up, so to speak, and then. With the mid-racks here, they can't really do much because guess what? If they use RP, they use all these things, Anti-Mage is just going to respawn because he's got Aegis, and the rest of his team is on the low ground, not coming into the base, and Anti-Mage is just literally in the base, taking the racks, doing whatever he wants because he's got Aegis. So they can't expend all those ultis on the one hero for him to then respawn, and then they've got nothing to defend. Then it's just end game because then they won't just take the mid-racks, they'll just go straight for the tier 4s. So they have to they couldn't defend unless the other players from Mythic came onto the high ground with the Anti-Mage. But generally, that's not what you do with an Aegis. If your carry is that strong and he's got Aegis, the rest of the team stays behind. You don't jump in. Just let him take the racks. Let them waste all their spells on you, and then come in when you respawn and just, drop the hammer basically and end the game.
I suppose
So, I mean,
also
it was
not...
very smart of Ventus not to, resist temptation to use everything on that one Anti-Mage with Aegis. Looks like they're going to try trade tier 2 for tier 2 here. But they do have TPs? Yes, they do, okay, because they're going to need TP back, otherwise they're going to lose another Rax.
Well, they're going to take down the top lane tier 2 tower. They're going to look
Time
at
to
pushing
TP back,
in.
boys.
Look at they're
Time
going
TP
to...
back.
Look
They
at
have
that
to.
doing a bit of damage here on the tier 3 tower. They're not going to actually TP. Okay. TP coming out, TP coming out. They're going to try and defend. Curse has been dropped. There's the shield. Going to be trying to just do little damage to Precious Petunia. Silence does come out. Going to be right-clicked away. Still got the Aegis. He's got the butterfly. Becky's just not doing enough. They could even take another one. But Kunchin jumps in. There comes the silence. Rock being used on one. They're going to bring down Kunchin in the back of it. But Predictions Petunia, he's actually just going to get out. They had the one Rax. Kunchin didn't actually have to jump in there, I feel, but regardless of the fact he did, now Prediction Petunia jumps in, ulti expended, big void coming out here from the double killing Predictions Petunia, and this is going to be a problem. Telekinesis going to bring him down. Requiem finally going off. They do get the kill eventually on the Slark. Sargon picking himself up a kill there. And this could turn into another full set lane of Rex here in the top lane.
I must say, poor Thing Fang. I mean, his blink has been cancelled almost every time by the stupid Venno Plague Wards. I mean, he was sitting on the high ground waiting to blink in an RP, and then Venno just casually drops a Plague Ward onto the high ground there, and then just cancels his blink at the last moment. It's just like he's not getting an opportunity to even, use his RP in these fights because he can't blink in. And if he skewers in and RPs, I mean, there's no guarantee that he can actually catch anyone. So it's just so unfortunate. There's just not much they can really do. They're not getting the opportunities that they need.
I mean, look at this. This Anti-Mage is pretty much man-moding the entire Dire team. Rex by himself, still got Aegis, even if they bring him down. I mean, look at this. Miss, evade. Okay, eventually they do bring him down. And Kunchin.
He's got the Dagon. Dagon.
Kunchan
Oh.
picking up the kill. Got himself, what? A level 3 Dagon. Sia, welcome to the world of Dagons, my boy. Megas are out. They have been released. Aegis is down. They're going to start taking shrines now just for the heck of it. He's almost got himself the Skadi. He's almost going to be as tank as hell. We've got Kunchan. He's got himself the Dagon. So, I mean, you just saw that poor Warlock absolutely explode. I mean, let's just have a look at the items here quickly. I mean, anything out of the usual besides, obviously, Kunchan. We got a Dagon on the Ember
We've got a
Spirit.
Dagon on the Ember Spirit. But it makes sense if your carry's doing that well and you pretty much won the game. And hey, why not go for the Dagon E-Blade build with the Veil of Discord? I mean, you're going to be doing a massive amount of nuke damage and you can just basically take out Silencer or Warlock pretty much instantly. So it is a pretty good pickup here. But yeah, I mean, we haven't got much out of the ordinary. Well, we've got the Aghanims on the Abaddon, which is pretty good, and then, I mean, we've got the Vladimirs. I know something's happening here again.
RP,
Oh, wow.
Requiem. They're going to try and bring down the anti-mage, but he's man-moding against Foya. He's going to blink out. Kunchan rocks up to the party. Going to get those sleight of fists off. Ulti coming out from Vino, catching out two. The rock being dropped. They do manage to pick up the Warlock on the back lines. Now, Precious Pacino trying to find Silencer. He does, brings him down rather quick. And they could try and look for a little bit more. They could Pounce comes in, Vivid. He pops the Dark Pack, not going to catch anything. But Precious Petunia, we'll just call him PP because obviously he prefers predictions. He may be able to pick up the rock. Slider Fist coming out, brings down the Magnus, not even being able to really be too much of a contest. But Vivid, he's going to eventually go down as well. And we lose the SF. And GG, well played, has been called out. The boys from Ventus tap out and decide to go home. So Mythic Gaming brought, I mean, this is typically a Masters team.
Anti-fun, that's all I can say.
Anti-fun.
The anti-fun came out to play. There was no fun to be had on this map. No, but unfortunately, I mean, like I said, Ventus have an exceptionally good draft. They've got huge, massive wombo combos, and all the heroes scale very well late game. They could have won this. They literally could have won this, but I mean, the Ember and Abaddon, you know, the Veno, they did a lot of work early game. Sargon did quite a bit as well, but not as much as those three. Just created so much space for the Anti-Mage, and the Anti-Mage basically free-farmed. You know, they won every lane except for mid. I mean, my hat goes off to Becky. He did really well mid, and it's just unfortunate that the rest of his team just couldn't catch up to him at that point. You know,
I think it was the hand of Midas's that could have been the problem. I mean, if I'm looking at Ventus,
when you are that far behind, you need something to escalate your farm, and it actually did work out pretty nice. And they got some decent levels, some decent gold accumulation. So they got their items a lot faster than they would have if they didn't get the hand of Midas. So definitely a good item to pick up, especially on a silencer. But yeah, for me, it's just like they didn't get the wombo combos off, you know, and it's also the lack of like reliable stuns when the ultis are down. They don't have ways to deal with an anti-mage with the Ember Spirit, with that type of thing. So do you think like a Rod of Atos should have been picked up somewhere as well?
absolutely.
It's just for me, it's a good like 5-on-5 team fight team, but to deal with split push, to deal with pickoffs, to deal like, you know, that type of thing, they can't really do it. So for me, like, they just never had the opportunity to actually fully do what the draft is designed to do. Yeah, and the anti-mage kind of just ran away with the game. I mean, he had so much space for him. He doesn't feel like he even had space. He just, you know, created his own space. And they would go try fight heroes, and the anti-mage would take like 2 or 3 towers. You know, it's just like, what are you going to do? And they can't stop him because they don't have no reliable lockdown. It's just, yeah. Pick something with a stun next time, maybe.
They don't have enough lockdown, and the lockdown that they had, they were expending ultis to actually use for lockdown. So, I mean, okay, with that said, I mean, let's jump into game number 2. There's going to be a lot more. You can run through another briefing in game number 2, just exactly what happened. So, guys out there, don't disappear too far, too long. Maybe just jump to the fridge, grab yourself a drink. I would like a double Jameson and soda, please, if anyone's offering. Otherwise, we'll see you guys shortly for game number 2. Don't go anywhere.
How do you achieve your greatness?
There's no margin for error.
No room for mistakes.
You need total control.
Your success is determined by your grit.
It takes thousands of hours perfecting your moves.
And only the strong survive.
You think you've paid your dues?
You think you're ready to enter the arena?
Think again.
This is the Telkom Digital Gaming League,
This is where legends fight till the last second.
where the action explodes straight through your system.
Feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me
I hear you man. Vi sitter här i väntan och spelar lite Dota. I feel you man. Vi sitter här i väntan och spelar lite Dota och pushar på och smeker med motståndet vi leker. Vi sitter här i väntan och spelar lite Dota och springer runt och creepar och motståndet vi slipar. Let's get it on. Vi sitter här i väntan och spelar lite Dota och pushar på och smeker med motståndet vi leker. Vi sitter här i väntan och spelar.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Dota players around the world. We're back and we're at it. We are going to bring you game number 2 of Mythic Gaming versus Ventus. Mythic did take game number 1 against a wombo combo lineup from Ventus. I hope you enjoyed the intro track. It was a little bit of us being a little bit of Dota. And that is what is about to take place. Once again, you are listening to Jabba and the Succulent Succubus. I mean, what can you take away from game number 1? Don't let the anti-mage farm.
Pick disable. Well, they had a lot of disable, but unfortunately it's long cooldown, and you know, once it's expended, so they can't really deal with anything else, so they have no real reliable lockdown. Also, for me, they got kind of like, not okay, outplayed, yes, but they just didn't exactly make the right rotations, and the problem is that every lane lost but mid. And unfortunately, SF can't outcarry an anti-mage. When anti-mage has items, yeah, SF's pretty much done for going 1v1 against that. I mean, especially with the Basher, the Manta style. You know, you saw him pick off the SF, and SF was pretty farmed just so quickly.
I mean,
But
that
yeah,
Abyssal
anyway.
just absolutely wrecks. But yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, do you think Ventus kind of let the game go in favor of Mythic? I mean, they had these big wombo combos that could have done amazing things, and they just kind of let it be. I mean, it was often that it wasn't being used.
Look, they got the Blink Dagger up on the Magnus, they got all the ultis up, you know, they're waiting for Warlock to come online as well, and they used their first huge wombo combo on a single anti-mage.
Yeah, I mean,
they used 3 ultis to kill 1 anti-mage with no killing sprees. He really didn't lose a lot for dying. Then they got 2 towers in return, but they could have, like I told you, they could have killed 4 heroes there with the first huge wombo combo they had available to them, but they didn't have anything. So, and from that moment on, I mean, the Veno kept canceling the blink daggers with the plague wards. You know, they've got heroes that can jump right in. Anti-mage, as farmed as he was with Aegis, you know, the rest of his team staying behind him while he goes and hits racks. So they can't expend everything on Anti-mage with Aegis because he's going to respawn, his team's going to jump in, they're just going to lose even more. So it's just like between a rock and a hard place, basically. Ventus just couldn't do anything. They literally couldn't do anything. And they had really good heroes, but again, no item progression to build lockdown, no reliable lockdown other than their ultis. It's hard to do anything with a snowballing lineup like that. So... yeah. But
well, the draft, the king is here. The king is here. The king is here.
Remember when the new update came and he got put into captain's mode, and we saw him that first night in the Masters leg, how well the Monkey King was doing? It was actually played by Muzzy that time around, and Muzzy completely wrecked with that hero. The Monkey King, I mean, beautiful lockdown, huge, massive amounts of damage. I mean, yeah, the primal spring with the boundless strike is just absolutely ridiculous. Plus the mischief, I mean, and his Juno mastery. I mean, come on, like Juno Mastery is retarded. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
the life steal after 4 attacks, then he gets critted, and then he gets a boundless strike where he crits on 200% at the max level, which is ridiculous in itself. Plus, he's got nice setup for his ulti. I mean, he drops down his ulti. You've got the Dark Seer to vacuum everyone back into it. It's just like, it's gonna be massive if just those 2 heroes alone can combo so beautifully.
Well, I don't know if you managed to actually see that the DAC championships actually finalized today. RG took the win in the last game. OG actually decided to pick up. It was RG versus OG, and it pretty much went a flawless victory for IG. They actually tried to run the Monkey King, and it just didn't have the impact that you would expect or hope from a call. Do you think that maybe the boys from Ventus can actually make it work? Do you think maybe Mythic has like an answer for it? I mean, they've got some big names on the party. They've got Slaughter. They've got Invoker. I mean, Invoker can use the Deafening Blast, push him out of his ult. Going to be able to, out of his trees. They've got pushing him out of his ult will actually cancel it. I mean, they still can have. They can always jump back to a Venge, but I think Mythic has already got enough supports for that. So, I mean, can Monkey King actually do enough? Well, Venge has actually picked up from Ventus.
He's got a huge number of things to worry about in this game. I mean, Invoker, when Invoker becomes that, when he gets a lot of levels, he can control a team fight so well. I mean, Invoker has every spell in the book, basically. He's one of the most versatile heroes in Dota. He can build into massive team fight, into single target nuke. With the Quaz Wex build, he can pretty much, strip you of all your mana. But if he goes for the Exhort, I mean, he can cold snap into, the Sunstrike snipes around the map. So Invoker has Disable, he has team fight abilities, he has huge nuke, very good controlling hero. Then, one hero that I'm very excited to see, once again, is the Brewmaster. The Split Master himself. I mean, this guy can control team fights exceptionally well. I mean, the Primal Split gives you so many abilities. You can Tornado one, stun another, slow another. I mean, if a good Brewmaster, okay, it requires a lot of micro skills, but a good Brewmaster can absolutely devastate a team fight. And that Thunderclap into the Drunken Brawler, it's just, just sometimes he just crits for nothing. And of course, the Drunken Haze is going to be so nice in lane as well, especially against right-clickers like Monkey King, Alchemist, Fen, that type of thing, because, I mean, they got a nice mistrance plus movement slow. So the mistrance is 70%, which is massive. So it's almost like a Tinker Laser type vibe. It's going to be really hard to last hit if he just spams that in lane. But yeah, his Primal Split is just amazing. And then, of course, you've got the Global Silence and Slaughter, the pick-off king himself. I mean, we've seen how disgusting a Slaughter can be once he gets a Blink Dagger online. He's normally comboed up with a Life Stealer, but it's now the ban on the side of Ventus for the last ban. So you're not going to see the classic Life Stealer Slaughter, unfortunately. But I think they do need another support here. Silence is definitely going to be the position 4, I feel.
I think maybe Silence is going to be the position 5, Slaughter position 4, Brew in the off lane. I think they're still looking for their
the carry, maybe
they carry, unless they're going to put Silence in that position. I mean, I feel that you've got these two big, like massive statues, like guardians, centurions that are going to be protecting Mythic with the Slaughter and the Brew. I mean, for Ventus to get there, they've got to break through the Slaughter. They're going to have to break through the Brew. I mean, looking at Ventus, they've got four melees on their team.
I think they listened to what we were saying last game, though, because every single hero, except for Darkseer, he's somewhat got a little bit of a disable, but every hero has a stun. So there's no lack of reliable lockdown this time around, which is pretty cool. So.
Well, Brew's going to have to dodge. Clicks. There it is. There is the range.
No. Oh, my word. Okay.
Why do you think it's a bad pick? I actually don't think it's going to be.
I'm not saying it's a bad pick. I'm saying shame, as in Vengeful Spirit's going to be suffering.
What about a Weaver? I think maybe a Weaver could have actually done also really well.
It could have, but it still clinks to me. It's going to make a bit of a bigger impact here.
As opposed with the Deso, he picks up a Deso against the Sven, against the armor, could do really well. Well, I mean, you also pick up a Deso on the Weaver.
Yeah, he can also scout and stuff. I mean, he can go annoy people in lane. I mean, he gets just like, orchid into his Desolator. He hits pretty damn hard. poor Venger's not going to stand a chance. I think he's going to feed off of her quite a bit. But, I mean, if they get the combo off Ventus, it's pretty massive. I mean, you got the Sven stun into the Darkseer vacuum with the Monkey King ulti. And then God's Strength, and then Alchemist. It's just like, you know, they can do so much with this lineup. And also, Monkey King, Venge, that type of thing, they're very good at early game pickoffs as well. They can rotate and do very, very, very well. I mean, Alchemist, you know, Alchemist, he always gets items no matter what, thanks to people's greed. So you can't really stop an Alchemist. But the one thing they do have is quite big damage nuke. I mean, if Invoker goes for the Quas Exhort build, he can pretty much pick off Alchemist, you know, even if with his ulti on, because he does a massive amount of damage. But yeah, I'm assuming, yeah. So, okay, I think we have maybe Klinks as the safe lane carry here.
I think you could even solo. I think you could even potentially solo, put the other 3 in the one lane, maybe
have Brewmaster farm.
And then let the brew farm and let the rotations from the Slardar actually generate his own income. I think maybe that's what's going to happen. Okay, well, there's a pause, so I'm going to take the quick opportunity to go around, introduce the players once again. For those of you that are just joining us, it's going to be a really interesting game. A 4 melee strat versus a pretty balanced strat coming out from the side of Mythic. Only the Venge, not going to be the right-click Avenge that we've been so accustomed to in the Masters. But let's see if the side of Ventus can actually make it work. So without further ado, for the side of the Radiance, going to be a Ventus. We've got Becky, going to be playing our Alchemist. We've got Vivid, going to be playing our right-clicking Sven. We have got Seer, playing our Vengeful Spirit. Traxian is going to be playing our Monkey King. And last but not least, it is going to be Fling Flang on the Darkseer. And that wraps it up for the side of Ventus. Please go ahead and introduce the players once again for the side of Mythic.
The side of Mythic, we will have the Sargon DOTA 2 on the Silencer, a Monster on your Slardar, Precious Petunia on the Klinks, Levi on the Brewmaster, and last but not least, Kuchen on the Invoker. Do you know, like, whenever I see that name, all I want to say is, sure you can.
Kuchen!
No, sure you can. Do you know where that's from?
No, I don't.
Oh, come on.
No, I don't. Teach me.
Come on, Jabba.
Teach
Street
me.
Fighter. Come on, you grew up playing those games.
I did, but
sure,
I didn't.
You can. Come on.
Oh, you did. Yeah, okay, alright.
I don't know why, but it kind of just makes me want to say it. But yeah, it's I'm gonna...
Look at this tree. Look here, the shenanigans.
This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. Okay, Darkseer actually will fare well against Tri-Lanes. I mean, if he... Okay, let's see what he levels up first. But okay, if he levels up his Iron Shell first, he's going to need to stay the hull back. But when he gets that Soul Ring up, he can literally spam 3 Iron Shells in one creep wave. So, yeah, I think he'll do fairly well as long as he keeps his nose out of trouble, because this time around it's a little bit scarier. We have a stun coming out from a monster, searing arrows from the Precious Petunia, and then another, and then some slow and arcane curses as well. The movement slow is pretty legit, so it's going to be hard to escape from the surge. Is not going to do much, because if you surge at the wrong time and you have a monster just to come and slither and crush you to death, it's just, you're not getting away from that. So, I mean, you got the damage over time coming out from Sargon, damage over time coming out from the Klinks, and then obviously the Slardar to lock you down. You can always see someone rotate in, but it's gonna be a hard lane for him. He just needs to, keep his positioning good until he has that surge. Yeah,
okay, well, I'm just looking mid.
Generally does well.
Sorry, I'm just watching mid, and I'm trying to figure out what the Monkey King is up to. I mean, he's a salve at the moment. That is running around. Kunshin, he's... gonna jump on the trees, gonna pop down. Kunshin, gonna take a little bit of damage, gonna get no joy here.
What is Traxian doing though? Like, shouldn't he be in lane, dude?
That's a good question. I'm trying to figure it out. I feel like I don't know this game at all.
You think maybe he just gets a few levels and he's probably gonna go jungle? He hasn't got an Iron Talon, so it is kind of
Why would he
weird.
want to try and soak up the mid XP? I mean, in the bot lane.
I don't know. This is a very weird. Are we seeing a support Monkey King here, or a Monkey King that doesn't farm? That's pretty weird.
Well, maybe they're not.
Now he's a banana. He's a banana.
maybe he's not trying to rely too much on what the Monkey King and what the Monkey King's expected to do. But they throw out the magic missile. He jumps down. The Stormhammer comes out. Levi going to throw down the clap. He's going to try and run in the opposite direction. Eats a tree. Jumps up. Traxian. Can he actually find the kill here? Levi running through the trees. Magic missile and first blood. And that is why you pick up a Monkey King and you do not listen to us, people, because we don't know what the hell is going on here. And they managed to pick up first blood from banana shenanigans.
Yeah, it's just a bit weird because, I mean, normally if you're going to do that, you pick up the stun first. But, I mean, yeah, it worked out from the end. But are we going to see a jungling Monkey King here? Or just, like, a randomly rotating? If that's the case, then why not pick up a Mirana or something like that? A hero that is more
an
prone
ogre
to rotating.
or
an ogre. Or, yeah, something to that effect.
Earth Spirit,
Monkey King for me needs items. And, you know, he needs to do that type of thing. But it looks like he's going to try go for the courier snipe here. So, what is he? Is he a bounty hunter now? Like, what's going on here?
Oh, he's going to try and jump. No, he's actually not going to jump. He's actually going to just jump away, jump into the jungle. And I think he's going to give up on the courier chase. I mean, he's level 2 at the moment. 400 in the gold. He's got enough for boots. I mean, this is a really confusing position for us. But, I mean, maybe he's developing a new strat the Monkey King can actually play out here. I mean,
I don't know, but he's like, it's just so weird because, I mean, especially against a lineup of Mythic, it, in my opinion, is kind of better than the side of Ventus's lineup. Like, just hero wise, I'm not trying to play any favoritism cards here, not trying to be biased, but like for me, like the lineup of Mythic, just the hero picks, the drafting for me is just better right now on the side. I mean, you've got the Invoker who's can control things massively. Oh, hold on. Have a bit of a rotation here.
Sargon TP's in. He's going to throw down the curse. Going to see Kunshin alive for the moment, getting that Ghost Walk off instantly and saving out his teammate there. Okay, so I think we've been shredding the Monkey King. I think we've been... Yeah, it was really quick. But we've been shredding the Monkey King and he's actually doing really well. So,
he's
like,
doing well.
apologies.
Well.
Apologies. I mean, like, he's like...
Doing well. It's unconventional.
It's weird.
It is weird. We'll have to see if it works out. But like I said, I'm kind of worried because for me, Mythic does have the better draft here. I mean, they've got the Silencer and Invoker, like, alone, like, two of the heroes that can control team fights pretty damn well. Then, of course, they've got the Brewmaster. Oh, no, we've got a DC. SA Dota, people, let's pause.
Let's see who's in vicinity to kill the Clinks.
Yeah, but like Brewmaster as well. Like, they've just got so much team fight control. It's just, and then they've got a nice pick off here, like Clinks, and then they've got an initiation, like, you know, Invoker and Slardar. And then you got anyone that wants to do anything, or they initiate on you, just pop a global silence, or you know, close to death and you pop a primal split, and I don't know.
Look, you know what?
The Monkey King doing the rotating thing, yeah, it's nice, but for me, it doesn't make that much sense. I'd rather have him farming and killing and winning his lane pretty damn hard, because it's not hard for a Monkey King to win a lane. It really isn't. He's a ridiculous hero, and his skill sets are amazing. So, I mean, he can, if he just gets farmed and, you know, gets his levels, like, a Monkey King can do a lot. So, yeah.
Maybe
I don't know.
Maybe he was just allowing a Fling Flang a little bit of alone time in the lane. He's got his soul ring up. He's almost got his infused raindrops as well as his boots. I mean, at this point now, Fling Flang can actually jump into the jungle. Fling Flang, he's the one. Darkseer, he's going to jump in the jungle, throw down that iron shell, and going to allow Monkey King to maybe farm up the top lane. So, I mean, things can switch around, and we're going to start seeing maybe a more static Monkey King as opposed to the roaming Monkey King that we've seen. But, you know, it's like...
I mean, if you're going to have a roaming Monkey King, then at least, like, maybe put him mid or, like, in the off lane with the Darkseer, farming, going to roamer. Because, look, your Monkey King has got a nice skill set for roaming. I mean, he's got the tree dance, so he can, you know, sneak up on you. He's got a nice stun, the boundless strikes. I mean, he is a good roaming hero, but I don't know. For me, I prefer him to be farming and wrecking his lane. Like, you know, taking the tower in the first 7 to 8 minutes, then going to the next one, doing exactly the same thing and snowballing. I mean, that's Monkey King, you know, just, and he's got some nice setup for his ulti as well. So, I mean, if he gets some damage and he gets those fast levels where he starts getting due mastery and, his base is bound to strike to like max level. It hurts a lot. I mean, remember your ulti only does damage according to, you know, the physical damage that you have. So I don't know. We'll see if it works. Roaming Monkey Kings are nice, but oh no, who went down there? The Venge.
The Venge. Sia got
Levi
caught.
dropping very, very low as well.
He managed to actually survive out through it. He got the rotation coming in from a monster, keeping him alive, and Venge paid with her life going down. It was pretty.
It looks like 2 stuns were used, so 2 Slither and Crushes. Obviously, the fight was going down for a while.
Well, I mean, he is a tanky little bugger. To actually bring down the Panda is going to take a lot of work. And maybe the side of Ventus actually have the answers. They've got a lot of right-click damage. If you actually look at it, not a lot of it's actually magic. I mean, they got right-click, right-click, right-click. But mid lane, though, we've got the Ender Strike coming out. Sargon probably going to go down. He does. Becky taking a chunk of damage. One more right-click. Gunjun, the Bruce Lee of Dota, managing to find the kill there onto Becky as well. Stun coming out, stunning out the Monkey King Traction. Not going to be able to do anything further. They get another rotation back in here. We've got the Silencer. He's pitching up to the party again. He is back alive. And it looks like they're going to actually just hold back for the moment. I mean, they had quite a bit of rotations. 3 players from both teams actually coming into the mid. Crazy stuff.
Oh, well, I mean, you need to, like, pick off that Alchemist. But like I said before, Alchemist pretty much gets whatever he wants, regardless of what you do to him, because of the Greevil's greed. So, I mean, it's just, for me, like, no matter how much you lock him down, he's going to get his items anyway. But it is nice to, again, win mid. I mean, Becky won mid last game, so thanks to a bit of rotations here from the side of Ventus, sorry, so it's rotations from the side of Mythic. Kuchen is actually getting a little bit of space here in the mid, more so than he had last game with the Ember Spirits. But you know, he's got a better matchup here this time around. I mean, Evoker can do pretty well up against an Alchemist, so it's not bad. And he's going for that Quasic Zord build, so he's doing quite a bit of right-click damage at the moment. He's now sitting at 74 plus 82, which is quite a massive amount of damage, sitting at level 6 already.
Traxian just sitting in the mid lane. I'm just actually watching this out here.
He just needs some levels now, because I mean, he's only at level 4. He needs to catch up a little bit so he can do a little bit more around the map.
Which actually puts Alchemist in the jungle now. They've actually
Alchemist can jungle easily with the level 3 acid spray. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, so he's so they're going to actually resort him to the jungle. We've got Darkseer. He's actually sitting in lane now. Last word being thrown out. So does the curse get thrown out, and he's going to just be able to chill in lane. Still using those infused raindrops to just dissipate a lot of that magic damage coming out from Sargon. Doing really well here, just trying to ensure Precious Petunia's farm. He's doing pretty well. He's sitting top of the charts once again. 53 for 5. I mean, the thing is, can the Klings do enough to the side of Ventus? I mean, you got a Sven that God Strength modes up, throws down that hammer, catches the Klings, 2-3 right clicks, and
yeah, but again, you've got Global Silence, you have Invoker, you have, Invoker is doing the full-on Quasic Zord, so he's going to be doing the cold snaps, Alacrity onto the, imagine Alacrity onto the Clinks with some items here. Monkey King goes down to the mid, so let's see what was used here. Okay, it's just some Sunstrikes and Alacrity apparently, but yeah, it's
typical
just,
Invokers, typical.
Yeah, there we go. See, I'm going to try pick off there, but I think, the Clinks has a lot of, leeway, if you want to put it that way, because he's got things like Slardar, he's got things like the Brewmaster. He's got control over the team fights. He just basically needs to stand back and right click and pretty much do what he wants. Then when he gets his items, he can just pretty much go solo pick off the Venge or the Sven. The Sven's not going to get BKB straight away.
Well, it looks like they've actually spotted each other out here. We also get the rotation from Monkey King. It's now 3v2. They actually may want to do something here. They're going to try and spot out Levi. And no, they're just dropping a couple of wards. Okay, so false alarm, peeps. False alarm. We've got Precious Petunia is actually in visit at the moment. Try and maybe see if they can get the rotation mid. If they can pick up the kill on Becky, this would be big here for the side of
unfortunately,
of
the ulti is still going to be up for a little bit of while, so he's going to need to wait out the Chemical Rage, not get spotted out.
Well,
I think he was maybe spotted out here.
Well, if not, I think he has now been.
Yeah, Becky does now have that armlet, so he can always just armlet toggle. Has not got a stun available to him.
No detection, boys. No detection is not going to reward you in the kill of Precious Petunia. And, I mean, I suppose he's not allowing the side of Ventus to actually farm. Just that constant threat of the Clinks being anywhere.
That 45-second cooldown on Chemical Rage is ridiculous. I really think they do need to, you know, extend that a little bit.
Have you not seen what happens when Octarine Core comes out? He can pretty much have it up permanently. I think there's a 5-second gap.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. So for me, I do feel like it needs something else. But now they're going to try and go Petunia again. They do have Dust this time around.
They learned from their lessons. Iron Shell, is it going to be enough? There comes out the magic missile. Boom! Good night. Clinks, you little beauty. He's going to be... I think we need to actually say a eulogy for him. He was a great Clinks. He lived a good and long and prosperous life. We wish him all the best in the afterlife. But you're dead, son.
You're pretty much dead there, but I do think it's a little bit early for him to start rotating, especially trying to take on alchemists and things like that. Try maybe look for Avenge. She's a bit easier to pick off, but again, you don't have your Orchid up yet, so maybe just stick with the team for now until you have your Orchid. Let your team do the control, and you pick off on the sidelines with your Searing Arrows. I think that's the best way for him to play the game right now. I mean, they haven't got that much squishy heroes on the side of Ventus. The only one you can really foreseeably pick off is maybe the Venge, but only if she's silenced, because she can always just stun him up, maybe swap in a Vivid or something to that effect. But they're going to look like they're going to try and go on to here. Levi is got the Blink Dagger up now. He's got Primal Split available, so they could opt to go onto Vivid here.
He suspects something,
yeah. He knows. Unfortunately, Clinks did reveal himself, so I mean, he just got all the way back to the tower, but we do have some Fing Fang and Traxian diving pretty hard, yeah.
The tree, the Iron Shell tree. I've seen it all. I have seen it all. Oh my gosh, come close. Come close.
Oh, it's moving.
The tree's moving, Slada. The tree's moving. Okay, well. Oh, that's Crush almost actually making a perfect. He's going to actually throw out the ulti in the weirdest position, but the Max will be able to pick up the kill. They do. They get 2 TPs in coming in. Levi coming into the party. Kunshin throwing out his Ninchaks. Not going to find anything. Traxian, he's not going to be triumphantly blocked up. He's blocked up. Can he jump on the trees? No, he can't. Kunshin! Flow like water and make like peace, and he brought down the MK.
It's weird, like, he had his tree dance available, and he just didn't do it. Did he get cold snapped? Yes, he did. Okay. Yeah. My DOTA was lagging just a little bit, so, like, I couldn't actually see if he was getting stunned or not. Half the hero animations didn't go off, but, yeah, unfortunately, cold snap OP, man. But, yeah. So
it's
tree
just
dance
as
not being
bad.
able to get used.
It's just as bad as Clockwork's little... what's his...
Battery assault.
Battery assault. I just went
Battery
blank.
assault. Hold on, we've got an inverse Petunia. They do they do
The random dust. Stormhammer, the jump down, the big swinging rod brings down the Clinks, and okay, this is not the kind of way that you want to be playing a Clinks though.
They did see him rotate because there's a nice little ward there at the bottom, so they did see him rotate nicely. Actually, I think they saw him put a ward there as well, so they knew he was going to be somewhere there.
I mean, they took
of course, you've got the Monkey King jumping from tree to tree, scouting out the Clinks. He probably saw the Clinks maybe munch a creep, then jump to that tower. Goes, okay, well, he's here, just dust. Took a chance. And
take a chance. I mean, it paid off. I mean, it absolutely paid off. I feel if they can slow down Precious Petunia's farm, they stand a very good chance in taking game number 2. There's so much an Invoker can do. There's a certain amount that he can actually do and actually achieve. And I just don't know without the Clinks if they've got what it takes to get them to the finish line. At this point in time. I feel that it's going to be a little bit of a tough situation here for the lads.
And they do smoke up here. We've got Sargon, Amons, and Levi all smoked up, ready to go onto the Vivid.
Oh, big jump, Sunstrike, right-clicked, even using a Primal Split. They're still trying to find him out. They do eventually get him. A monster right-clicking like a monster, bringing him
Global
down as well.
silence,
In the
just a
meantime,
little
top lane though, Precious Petunia trying to find the kill on Fling Flang. He's going to TP himself out as well. So a couple of fights taking place around the map off the use of that global being used from Silencer.
Yeah, I think the global silence was a little bit too much, to be honest, because they would have killed him anyway. You had like 1 or 2 right clicks left in him. I don't think the global silence was that necessary. They also had Levi's primal split, so they could have just stunned him or with a rock, you know. I think the global silence is a little bit too much overkill. Your A monster running straight into the Monkey King and blinking the hell out. Doesn't know what else is there. They are getting pretty nice vision here, so this tower it should be relatively easy to take with all that vision. I got one right behind the tower and one just at the entrance there, so should be able to see the rotations pretty nicely. Are they gonna have another smoke? Yes, they do. Sargon's got another smoke, so Shrine up, let's smoke again. No?
They're waiting. Just in case there was a ward there, I think they're just going to maybe smoke up in the lane. There we go. Drops the ward, make sure things are clear for the moment, and engage the smoke. Engage the smoke.
You can do it.
Engage the smoke. They're not going to actually use it. A monster actually leading the
thanks to
chance
that
here.
ward, they know that the Monkey King as well, they know that Sia and Traxian are both there, so they're going to get back just a little bit.
Well, is it enough to actually deal? Well, I mean, Primal Split is down. Split is down.
Yeah, it's only 40 seconds, so maybe you just wait for that.
Yeah, well,
Maybe
I mean, they're
just
going to
wait for
just
that.
back off for the moment. Monkey King has actually got invis. Going to maybe do some nice peeking and scouting in the meantime. They do manage to deny the top tower. Last rider clicking there by the legend Sargon himself. Mid lane monsters just farming up. Mid lane, bot lane. Here comes the action though. They're going to use the ulti from Monkey King. It does go down. Primal split on 30-second cooldown.
Lockdown.
Reliable.
You have got a Sven stun into a Venge stun, and then of course the Boundless Strike. I don't think he was going anywhere, even if he had the primal split. He was basically chain stunned.
If they chain stun it perfectly, they can't. He's not actually going to be able to split out of any of that. I mean, it's could be a little bit of a problem.
That's when the Invoker comes in to kind of just control, maybe throwing a tornado into.
Oh my gosh! I don't even know where his HP went.
Well, you can say corrosive haze into
Corrosive
searing
haze,
arrows.
is it? It's only level 1 though, but I mean, oh my word.
Searing arrows into corrosive haze is pretty damn strong.
Does he have, no, he doesn't have Bloodstone. Any other Bloodstone holders? No. I mean, wow, he dropped.
Yeah, he dropped like a really, really fast. But what's really nice about it, Clinks, that a lot of people don't realize is that the searing arrows actually do quite a bit of damage to towers as well.
No, I realize.
Buildings. No, I'm just saying some people don't.
No.
Like,
I know how that stuff hurts.
Yeah, that stuff hurts, but it's just that. It's just like, ow. searing arrows into that lovely corrosive haze from the slaughter. It really does hurt. And he's very close to his orchid as well. So now, once he gets that item up, he can go for the solo pick-offs if he really, really wants to. There we go. So here we go, solo pick-off time. Maybe it is nice just to get a value Blightstone on him as well, just to reduce some of the armor.
Yeah, I agree. Because you'd want him to go Deso a little bit later to actually deal with the Sven.
I mean, you've got...
But Warcry is going to do so much work.
Yeah, the Slaughter's not always going to be there, but there we go. The first pick-off with Orchid. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Well, and that's what we've been waiting for, that Orchid. He's going to be building into Bloodstone, I'm sure pretty soon. Now they're deciding to make a play into Becky. Dodges out the Sunstrike. Going to go around the side to Deafening Blast. Just connecting, but not going to be good enough. And Becky going to be able to walk it off. Shake off the pre-battle jitters. And being able to armor Toglet pretty decent out of there. He's got his Radiance, BOTs. He's going to be building into his Manta pretty soon as well. So we're going to start seeing a little bit of pressure being put on him as well. Just pushing out those illusions, pushing them down the lane. He's going to be able to keep the lanes pretty well equalized.
The Smokerinos is happening. The Sargon and the monster.
Eventually.
They're not going to find anyone though, unfortunately. The whole side. Oh my word, this is hilarious. I love it when this happens, when teams smoke up and they go completely opposite sides of the map.
Use the scan, lads. Use the scan.
We have Ventus smoking in the mid tower, and we have Mythic smoking at the bottom. It's hilarious. But yeah, maybe the best option is just to maybe just try trade towers here, because this tower is theirs. I mean, Petunia's searing arrows is doing so much work here.
And down it goes. But I mean, before
the TPs come in. This could be massive. We have the Radiance up on the Alchemist, though. This could be...
Oh,
that was
here we
fast.
go.
I mean, think about it. TP boots, armlets, Radiance, and now, like, a little bit of these Manta to boots at 19 minutes in. Alchemist is just a ridiculous farmer. I mean, he doesn't even need to have a hell of a lot of last hits. He just, Greevil's greed. But yeah, the jungling with the acid spray. Plus, he got pretty decent last hits in his lane as well. It just makes his farm just escalate so damn nicely. So yeah, I mean, Alchemist will get massive way before anyone else does if he plays it properly, and he's been doing it well.
Yeah, I mean, what was the new update to Alchemist? Or no, it was Moonshard is now shareable amongst allies.
Shareable. Yeah, so he can give his team. Well, once he's 6-slotted, I really don't like it when Alchemists
7-slotted.
I don't like it when Alchemists haven't got items and then start buying things for their team. Like, it's very, very under seldom circumstances, like very situational that you would do that. But I prefer Alchemist to be very, very farmed, and then with all his extra cash, if he has buyback on top of that, then you start buying Aghanims for your team. Now you can buy Moonshards for them as well. So one of the very good heroes to have in that respect.
What is Precious Petunia up to?
He wants to pick off Vivid, but it's a bit of a hard target since he has got the Warcry available to him as well. He's a pretty hard hero to kill. He's got nice armor, 9 armor to boot, like right now. Plus, with the Warcry, he gets a bonus armor of 10. So, yeah, it's a very hard hero to kill, especially if you don't have any armor reduction just yet. But he's almost got his Desolator. Precious Petunia is about 1,500 off his Deso. They're pretty easy. They are going to try pick him off here. Do they have dust? Yes, they do.
They do. Thunder Strike coming out. Global being used as well. Can he TP out? It's not going to be good enough. Vec to stop that. And Alchemist, Becky, showing him a little bit of love and bringing down Precious Petunia.
That Radiance does hurt.
I mean, but being caught off guard like that, I mean, you've got 4 of the players sitting in mid, and you get like a 4-man rotation from the side of Ventus to like say, boys, listen, the Clinks is in the top lane. We need to do something, and we need to do something now. Oh, the tree. Oh, here comes the tree play. Oh, the tree. But in the meantime, Kuntrin actually manages to bring down Sia on the Vengeful Spirit. In the meantime, we have got the Alchemist trying to make a play here. Finding out Monster. Evade. That Drunken Haze is doing so much work, but eventually Becky picking himself up another kill on a hero.
Vivid hated him so much that he just decided to throw out a stun.
But I mean, this Drunken Haze, I mean, I just saw like miss.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now you've got to love Drunken Haze, and it is at level 3, so I mean, it's still a 70% miss chance. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. But it's more the movement slow at the moment that for me is ridiculous. I mean, 30% movement slow as well as 70% miss chance at level 3. It's absolutely ridiculous. Drunken Haze, amazing skill. But yeah, unfortunately, Primal Split not being able to be used again. So I mean, they are chain locking him and making sure that he can't get that ulti of Petunia. Do they know that he's here? Yes, they do.
Well, they actually throw down the tornado. They're not going to actually be able to catch out the Alk. But there comes the stun. They're not going to be able to catch the Sunstrike. But now comes big ulti from the MK. Catching out 2. Stun comes out, bringing down 2. Double kill for Becky. And are they going to be able to find anything more on the back of this? Precious Petunia already bailed a long time ago.
It's like, bye-bye, I'll see you later. It's like, I'm not fighting that. No, but I mean, going on an Alchemist with these Chemical Rage up as well as an Omelette, I mean, not the easiest hero to try just quickly pick off, even if you have an Invoker there. I mean, but the rotation, the insta-TPs in was absolutely amazing. Beautiful rotations coming out here for the side of Ventus.
Easy Metal for Precious.
Not letting them run away with the game like they did last game. Definitely showing Mythic that, when we have the right heroes, we can definitely do something.
No, but I think in the first game they still had like decent heroes in game 1. But here we go. Silence being brought out. A Monster trying to stay alive. Vec got to hold him back in place. And we're going to lose the A Monster. Tonight is not one of those horror stories when we're afraid of the monsters. And Slardar does eventually go down in a dirty, drastic kind of way. But I mean, in the first game, I mean, I feel that Ventus had the team. They had a good draft. I mean, they had some amazing synergy between the players, and they just never made anything happen off it.
Yeah, they did. I mean, but it's just, you know.
I think they feel a little bit more comfortable. I think when you see Monkey King like doing random things and they're still able to like stay in the fight, I think it gives your team like a lot of confidence to say like, listen, I'm a Monkey King. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I'm running around, but I'm killing stuff.
Look, for me, Monkey King, like I said earlier, he is a good roamer. It's just unconventional sometimes. Oh, okay. This poor Brewmaster, like he's just getting perma lockdown here.
Primal Split, not even making a difference. I mean, I think he really needs a BKB. Is he even building to one yet? No, not yet.
Not yet. I think BKB is definitely a thing, considering all the stuns. But yeah, he's just getting caught up position more than anything else. And they just, you know, once they see him, they're like, okay, let's take this ulti out of the fight, because like Primal Split's a very, very strong ulti.
Well, they're going to look at pushing up top 3. They're going to drop down the Wukong command a little bit further in the back lines. Going to leave him a little bit of space to actually get into the base should he need. Tornado, EMP, Deafening Blast, Meteor, Boundless Strike down onto Precious. The swap comes out. Going to try and keep Vivid alive for the moment. Precious, he wants more. He's running into it. Curse comes down. Warcry being used up. Traxian trying to find him. He's going to be able to do that. Dust being used once again. And while this is all taking place, Precious Petunia 1-on-3, gonna still bring down the Sven. He's not gonna be able to escape. In the meantime, in the mid, we lose Vivid, we lose Kunjun, and Becky picking himself up a double kill. Bar back out onto Kunjun. Now Invoker's gonna come back to the party. There comes a Primal Split into Tornado EMP. Stable Concoction's not good. It's gonna go out, gonna catch 2. And Primal Roar coming out here. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Catching up both. And A-Monster not too quickly, or not too right there on the Slither and Crush. Kunshin being vac-walled back into this onslaught here from the side of the Radiant. Becky trying to ulti up. Not going to happen. And it is eventually going to go down, giving away a godlike killing spree to Kunshin. 1,100 or 1,031. That was a dieback. I mean, Kunshin is down. That is...
Yeah, but luckily the diebacks are not that long at this time in the game, so he's only down for just over a minute. But yeah, I mean, it's just unfortunate. Like they just keep getting disabled. I mean, they've got huge team fight control. They've got the likes of Invoker, Silencer, Brewmaster, but they're just not finding that space to combo up together, as in, you know, control a team fight together. The Alchemist is near damn impossible to pick off unless you've got, you know, everyone there. The Clinks, you know, he's got the Orchid, he's got the Desolator. I feel like maybe if he went for the Medallion first and into a Blightstone, then for the Orchid and the Deso, maybe then it would have been more effective. He could try pick off people a bit easier like that, reducing even more. Just, I don't know. Look, Orchid into Deso, always a good thing on the Clinks, but maybe like a Medallion first could have been a thing. I don't know, I could be wrong here, but it's a cheap item. It's going to do a lot of work for him, and it's going to escalate his picking off potential. But like I said, like they're just not getting the chance to combo up these things. Yes, they are getting pick-offs. Now this Sven's going to come in.
Oh, they're going to drop. They're going to drop down the Curse. Big right clicks out here. Fall for the side of Mythic. They want to really punish the Sven. They do get the kill, but in the same token, they do bring down Precious Petunia as well here in the bottom part of the jungle. So I feel that a lot of the space is created, even in that previous big team fight in the mid.
Pick off though, by himself.
I think Precious Petunia was actually just trying to push out bot, and Sven was pushing out top, and both teams punished their cause.
Yeah, but I mean, like now we've got this Alchemist, Becky. He's massive. I mean, he's got his Octarine core, Manta style, you know, Radiance into Armlet, as well as TP boots. He's probably looking by stash, he's gonna be getting that Blade Mail next, and then he's pretty much 6-slotted. I mean, he can opt to, you know, swap and change things out if he really wants to in the end. But I mean, it's gonna be hard to contest as Alchemist now. It's gonna be really, really hard.
Becky's been spotted. Becky was trying to.
Becky has evasion, and so does Alchemist. I mean, but there's no natural MKB carriers, so to speak, for the side of Mythic. I mean, yes, you can get an MKB on Precious Petunia, but then he doesn't have BKB, which then again he's just going to get stunned and disabled, to Holland back. So Petunia's not going to be able to do much damage. So
he can get the Bloodthorn. If he gets the Bloodthorn, it has that evasion.
Yeah, you can get the Bloodthorn, but I mean, I think like for me, Petunia's going to need to go BKB now because he's just getting disabled to absolute he just can't do anything. Same with Levi. I think Levi needs BKB as well, but I mean, because Levi's not getting his ulti off, well, he just needs to make his positioning just a little bit better so he isn't the first one to go down every time as the Brewmaster. So I mean, I really think like either his position needs to get better or he needs to get BKB. Otherwise, you can go for things like Shivas or Sheepstick, stuff like that to contribute to the team fight.
This Invoker is absolutely ridiculous. Twice now he's identified the players for the Radiant jumping into the pit. Becky went into it first. Sunstrike came out, revealing they were in the pit. Vivid jumps into the pit, revealing that they're in the pit again. But it's going to go down really quickly regardless. Tornado comes out, going to catch out the Sven. But on the same hand, they're going to be able to pick up Traxian. The Monkey King goes down. Sun coming out. They're going to bring down a monster. Now the silence comes out. Big clap coming out from Levi. Aegis is down on the deck. Sven is going to come back with no god strength. Going to try and right-click down Precious Petunia that do not have detection. And he's going to get away free of charge out of that one. Becky chasing down Sargon, decides to change to Levi. There comes the Primal Split. And Radiant's doing quite a bit of work eventually. Sven, the Vivid, being able to pick up the Clinks. Right-click coming down. The Blade Mail. Sargon killing himself on the Blade Mail. Kunshin fighting from a distance here. Trying to get himself through this ice wall. Bit of a problem here. Going to stun himself up. Sunstrike. Is it going to be enough? Toggle that armlet, baby. He's not. He's going to go down. Vivid, he's going to try and just man mode it here. And I think he's going to be able to just say, listen, I've done what I can. Let me just back off. I'm only one alive. And he falls back. In the meantime, Monster, he's just pushing up bot lane. And
BKBs are necessary for both sides here. I mean, you're against the Silence and Invoker, a Slardar, that type of thing. And on the other side, you're against, mass disable. So it's just, I think BKBs need to be flying hard and fast now. maybe just they also need a pipe against that Radiance. Who's going to build a pipe though?
Slardar?
Slardar could build a pipe, yes. He's got a Blink Dagger, so I guess he could build a pipe for them. But
I mean, even if
you need one, I mean, you've got like the Iron Shell, the Darkseer Vacuum Wall Iron Shell. You've got all the stuns plus the Radiance that does so much damage. So I mean, they definitely do need a pipe here as well.
I mean, even the Iron Shell's doing so much work. I mean, even the Iron Shell, is getting stuff done. So
I mean, you put an Iron Shell on your Sven, on the Alchemist, on the Monkey King, you can just Iron Shell 3 people before this fight begins, and then there's just a lot of extra damage into the team fight there.
Well, Precious Petunia in a little bit of trouble here, makes you go down, trying to find Traxian, isn't enough, and he misses the last hit. Uphill, this is why I love this game, because things are so chaotic, and the RNG of uphill attacks just wasn't in his favor.
Traxian, dude, you should have died there. That was okay. Well, he's going to go down, but at least you're going to go down as well. But, I mean, lovely use of the Guardian Greaves there from Fing Fang. He is able to survive that. And obviously the uphill mischance was amazing as well. Yeah, the RNG is sometimes not in your favor.
Never in my favor. Never in my favor. Never. Hunger Games are never. Oh, but top lane, Becky pops out... Blade Mail. We do have the Tornado a little bit off the mark there.
You see what's in his inventory? Moon Shards are in the future, boys and girls.
Moon Shards in the Elk. Oh, baby.
It's in his stash. So there's definitely Moon Shards.
A moving tree, people. There's a moving tree behind you. Okay. Okay. I love Monkey King. It makes games so exciting. But he gets spotted out, Monster. Starting out Traxian. They're trying to see if they can defend this tier 3. They're going to lose the tier 3 tower. Precious Petunia trying to do some work here. Gets tornadoed up into Global Silence. Kunshin finds the kill onto Traxian. Precious Petunia goes down to Vivid. They're right-clicking down the racks. Gem is on the deck. And Sargon in a little bit of trouble here. He's been chased down by Becky. They do lose the one lane of racks. Can they find Precious Petunia? Pops the shrine. Not going to work. Sargon goes down as well. Kunshin trying to slow down the onslaught here from the Radiant. Throws out the Deafening Blast. We do have the Primal Split being used up. Can they do enough to keep Becky in place? We got the Crush. We've got the Sunstrike. Can he toggle? Good enough. Let's see. he's going to get Tornado, will get you Yule's up. And again, the Slither Crush off the mark into wall. He does eventually get it, but he does swap it out. And we do lose Monster. That beautiful swap coming out from him, keeping Becky alive. Now Becky right-clicking down Levy. Trying to man-mode him and block him in the trees. Not going to help. Blade Mail out. Not going to avoid any punishments there. Pops out the Mantic. Getting the concoction. Stop him in time. It does. Before he gets the haze off, he goes down. And Tornado landing the... And I think Becky's now saying, okay, boys, I have overstayed my welcome. The boys from Mythic tap out. Game number 2 is done. This means game number 3, baby.
For Kutcher though, he tried to save for Levi's out. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna Deafening Blast, I'm gonna Tornado. But like the Radiance Burn just completely destroyed him afterwards. I mean, shame. He did use his Thunderclap, when the Blade Mail was up, so he lost quite a bit of HP from that. But yeah, jeez. Yeah, I guess we go to a game 3. But this game ending horrendously fast. 35-minute GG.
Yeah, done, dusted. I mean, what? We're sitting at Becky at the end of the game, sitting 13-3. Got a huge amount of farm. Did really well for his team. He never ever managed to actually pick up the Hyperstone either. We would have seen it under buffs if he did. Sargon not getting the most kind of stacks on his stolen intelligence, only sitting with 8. But I mean, otherwise, I think the only thing that we could say is that Mythic never had an opportunity to really pick up the items that they needed.
Well, Ventus got outplayed last game, and then Mythic got outplayed this game. Because, Mythic had a brilliant lineup. They really, really did. They had the controlling heroes. They had such good pick-off potentials. I think Precious Petunia maybe going for some of the wrong items. Going for the paper build instead of looking at the game, what was actually going on. Especially with the Alchemist getting that big. Maybe get your medallion, your blink, and then get into the Orchid a bit later. Maybe just go first for the crit into the Blightstone, into the Desolate. Desolate was definitely required, but someone needed to maybe go for MKB. An earlier pipe maybe even would have been a bit better against this Radiance. But Alchemist just got out of control. Sitting at 29,000 net worth.
Yeah,
29,000. The closest person to him is the Invoker, sitting at 17, which tells you a lot because he didn't die a lot. He got quite a bit of kills. Actually, decent amount of last hits. It's a little bit unfortunate here.
I think
steamrolling basically.
I think Kunshin on the Invoker did really well for his team. That delivered what he needed to. Maybe being caught a little bit. For a Clinks that can really go invis and shouldn't be caught out. He died 9 times.
Yeah, like I said.
I think maybe that Weaver may have been better. I think that's that Weaver. That time lapse. You just go back. You just saying, right, you've done all this damage. Let me just time lapse it off. Pick up a Lincoln's. He's a natural Lincoln's carrier. I think.
To be honest, that they locked him down as well. Even Levi. He got chain stunned, as in they just killed him. So I think Weaver would have suffered the same fate. And to be honest, Weaver doesn't have the advantage of gaining HP from swallowing a creep. So I think Weaver also would have suffered quite a bit in this game. But yeah, it could have potentially been a little bit better since he is a little bit more mobile and he's got more escapable capabilities. Also, he comes online a little bit faster than a Clinks. But they were doing fairly well, and then Petunia, I think, just got caught out of position way too many times. Maybe chose some of the wrong items as well, just for the game in question. And then they weren't able to, either Global Silence went off after the Brewmaster's dead, or the Brewmaster's Primal Split couldn't get up because, it's just one thing after the other. It's just, unfortunately, Mythic Gaming just couldn't bring their draft together. And Ventus Gaming with the heroes, if they snowball pretty damn hard, and it's hard to stop that. Sven snowballing, you get Alchemist snowballing. The Traxion, he didn't snowball, but he did roam very, very efficiently. So, he created a lot of space for them as well. But,
he made me a believer. A
believer. No, like I said, he's a good roamer, but it's not something you see all that often. Not in this bracket anyway. In overseas bracket, yes, because people get items like we get items in 30 minutes.
They can stand in base and get items.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's just something that you don't normally see in the SA scene, but it did work out for them tonight. But let's go to the game 3. I do believe the lobby is up.
Alrighty, well, we'll be back shortly. Game number 3 underway. Go get a drink. Be back soon. And yeah, hopefully we see some more crazy action and some more moving trees. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you now.
How do you achieve your greatness?
There's no margin for error.
No room for mistakes.
You need total control.
Your success is determined by your grit.
It takes thousands of hours perfecting your moves.
And only the strong survive.
You think you've paid your dues?
You think you're ready to enter the arena?
Think again.
This is the Telkom Digital Gaming League,
This is where legends fight till the last second.
where the action explodes straight through your system.
Lobby password again.
I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Feel like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been I don't know what you want. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side. My love.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Dota players around the world. We're back. Game number 3, underway. The draft has begun. Game 1 was an absolute, I don't know which way it went. I mean, we had decent drafts coming out from Mythic. We had some decent drafts coming out from Ventus. But Ventus bringing home the bacon with the roaming Monkey King. And this time round, banning out the MK for themselves. So, I mean, things kind of went awry for Mythic in game number 2. Game number 3, what could we expect to see? I mean, they had a really good lineup. I mean, a lot of things that could have worked with the Clinks, worked with the Invoker.
For me, they had a really, really good draft. I mean, Mythic Gaming had the winning draft. In my opinion, they really did. But unfortunately, they just didn't execute it properly. I mean, you've got Alacrity with, corrosive haze coming out from the Slardar, and then you've got the burning arrows or the spheres. So I mean, if you just use corrosive haze and burning spears on, you go roaming with, Clinks and Slardar, they could have done a lot more. I mean, we saw that once maybe, and you saw how quickly the Darkseer melted to it. Remember that?
No,
So
I mean, it was...
If they just continue to do that, unfortunately they didn't. They kind of just, went to no man's land. And of course, I mean, the Brewmaster not being able to get his ultis off almost every fight because he was out of position, or, someone got picked off along the way that they couldn't fight properly, or, global silence or something being used defensively instead of aggressively. It was just like they didn't execute their draft. They just couldn't do anything. Like, it was just,
Precious was Trino has always been zoned out and focused out. I mean, that one fight right outside their Rex. I mean, Precious...
Don't go roam alone against high armor
100%,
heroes.
100%. I mean...
tanky, high armor heroes. I mean, sure, you've got your Deso, you've got your Orchid, but you don't have a medallion on you. So, I mean, Deso is not really going to be enough. Then you've got mass disable, so any of them can... And you in behind enemy lines. So, I mean, there's millions of places for them to TP to quickly just catch up to you. They're always carrying dust. So, I mean, roam with someone like the Slardar or the Invoker. But, I mean, I think the Slardar and... to pick up the Clinks and Slardar was really, really nice. It just didn't work together, those two heroes. I mean, it's like they were supposed to,
Yeah. Yeah, the way that they planned it, I suppose the way that they planned it and the way that they actually executed it was a little bit different. So, I mean, this time round, I mean, Ventus, they're looking to jump back onto the Magnus. Didn't get much done in game number 2. This time round, they've picked up the Ogre Magi. Mythic, they've picked up the Earth Spirit as a little bit of a change of pace. With the Kunshin Ember Spirit mid. Do you think this is enough to actually change things? Ventus goes straight back to the Becky Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, but why pick your Ember Spirit up this early? It's not like they're going to ban it. They, you know what I mean? Like, now they just are able to pick up, the
counter,
the Shadow Fiend up against it. Where you've got, after, I think it's 2 Shadow Raises, then, your Flame God's down. And then, you've got, when he gets a few souls to his name, he right-clicks like a truck, so that goes through your Flame Guard as well. Yes, SF is squishy, but I mean, then he's got the Ogre Magi to come and rotate and help him mid as well against the Ember Spirit. So it's just like, I don't understand why you pick it up, the second in your draft, when you can easily just counter it like that, or at least ban out the Shadow Fiend and then pick it up. I just, like, for me, it's just not, I don't know.
Look, the Shadow, the Ember Spirit maybe could have been picked up in the second last phase, wait to pick up their core. They've banned out the anti-mage this time round for Ventus, so you're not going to have that Precious Petunia farming anti-mage. And now with the Dazzle being picked up, does this open up for the Axe? I mean, they haven't even banned out the Axe. If Ventus jumps onto the Axe pick here, puts Magnus in a bit of a different position, maybe. Well, I mean, okay, so they're not going to pick up the Axe. They need a core now.
I don't think they will pick up the Axe. It is a possibility.
No, it's not. Now it's gone now.
It hasn't been banned out, so they can still opt to do it. They could, but now they need something to combo with IO.
Tiny.
So I mean,
Luna.
Tiny's a classic one. Luna's also a good one. Oof, Terror.
Okay, so he's definitely going to get a Sunder off. He's definitely going to get his ulti off with the Dazzle on the field. That's pretty much inevitable. Lincoln's all around for the side of Ventus.
It's going to be very hard for them. Terrorblade's not a fun hero to play against. It really isn't, especially now with the Dazzle on his side. And you've got the Ember Spirit to do whatever he pretty much wants on the map. I mean, sure, you've got an Ogre Magi is pretty tanky, hard to take out, but you've got the Io who's pretty damn easy to pick off. I mean, that thing is so squishy. And then the Shadow Fiend's pretty easy to pick off as well if you have another hero rotating like an Earth Spirit that has, a beautiful stun and a silence as well. So, I mean, Earth Spirit is one of the best roaming heroes for me. Like, it really is, especially if it's played efficiently. I mean, yeah, Earth Spirit is amazing. It could just devastate a map. Obviously, that ulti does a lot of damage as well, but it's going to be interesting to see what they choose here. I mean, they need to ban first, but I mean, for their last pick, it's going to be very interesting. They need another carry now, but they need, like, a proper late game, like, massive late game carry.
Okay, well I mean, Terrorblade can punch with the best of them. They don't have... well, they do have the cleave there. They do have the empower from the Magnus. They can actually deal with the Terrorblade illusions kind of well. I mean, they've banned out this Finn as well. They decide to actually jump onto the Underlord. Now, I know you and I have been casting a lot of the Masters in the first leg, and we found that the Underlord just didn't perform as well as what it should have. Do you think Mythic has what it takes to actually turn this Underlord into a victorious hero that can actually do stuff for his team?
We definitely have him going off lane. I mean, you're going to have the Earth Spirit roaming around with the Dazzle, babysitting the Terrorblade. I mean, you're going to have a tri-lane essentially with the Terrorblade, Dazzle, and Earth Spirit, but you're going to have the Earth Spirit roaming around in every bloody lane. So, I mean, that's a bit obvious there. So, I mean, there we go. I knew it. If it's not going to get banned out, Axe is going to get picked up. I mean,
especially with the Terrorblade, especially...
yeah, I mean, blink in, Axe Call, all those illusions with Blade Mail get ripped. I mean, sure, I'll Shallow Grave you, but I'm just going to Culling Blade you anyway, so it's fine. Yeah, it's a beautiful counter to the Dazzle, but it's going to be hard because, I mean, you can easily get his blink cancelled here. There's a lot of things that can actually do things to an Axe as well. I mean, you've got the Earth Spirit that can root him. You've got, the Sleight of Fist that can cancel out his blink if he's not far enough. Earth Spirit can help out as well quite a bit.
Would you put now
and silence and stun the Axe? But I mean, Axe is a brilliant hero against any Dazzle ever to exist. Yeah. It's like the direct counter to that hero.
Yeah,
but it's also really good against illusion-based heroes. It really, really is. I mean, especially once he gets the Blink Blade Mail up. I mean, it's just going to devastate that Terrorblade. And if they can keep him locked down enough, they can, so he can't get the Sunder off, then it'd be good, because otherwise Terrorblade's just going to sunder all his HP back. But yeah, I think they could lock him down pretty nicely, especially with the Ogre Magi and the Magnus, and there's some stuns and knockdowns there as well.
I do have a question though. Do you think they're going to run the Shadow Fiend mid? I'm just switching things up here because the IO, I think the IO would actually have more synergy with the SF than they would actually have with the Magnus. So do you think they're going to put Magnus in the mid, maybe up against the Ember, put Shadow Fiend in the safe lane with the IO, or do you think they're going to just put SF in the mid with the IO? I mean,
they could run it either way. I mean, SF is like, the safe lane carry. They can do that. They can also opt to try Magnus as the safe lane carry. It goes either way, but you definitely want the Ogre Magi and Axe in the same lane. I mean, it's the bully lane of notes. I mean, you've got the Ignite into, the Battle Hunger, then eventually you're obviously going to catch up, so you can just call them and kill them. So, I mean, Ogre Magi Axe is very, very good bully lane. But, I mean, as regards to the Magnus and the SF, they can choose to run it either way. I mean, Magnus can, go for the Battle Fury into...
he's going to have to go right click,
his
though.
Crit, into
Echo
his crit,
Saber,
into Echo Saber, Blink, all those beautiful things. So Magnus can build it that way if he really desires. So, I mean, you could run it either way, but I do think that it does make a little bit more sense to put the Magnus in the mid and the SF in the safe lane, but then, Ember Spirits, you need to be able to win that lane. So I think Shadow Fiend will follow the Ember Spirit wherever he lanes.
Well, I think if Mythic actually decides to run a solo off lane with the Underlord, then they can put Magnus in the safe lane solo against the Underlord. I think it would do reasonably well. Or they could put the SF in the safe lane against the Underlord. He'll be able to generate just as much farm. They put the Magnus in the mid lane. He'll be able to contest with the Ember Spirit. He's got a form of escape in terms of his skewer. So there's a couple of options that both teams have, and I feel that they're going to try and find the best matchup, and we're going to see a lot of TPs happening in the first couple of minutes of this game.
I don't know if it's just me, but I'm just going to try reconnect because it looks like the draft is hanging on just a little bit too long.
I'm also still in the draft. So I think maybe we'll just hang around for the moment. I've never seen it take this long, but if players take time to actually select their heroes, they'll probably still have a strategy time as well on top of that. So we'll give it a bit of time before things actually do go awry.
I'm messaging Sargon now to see what's actually going on.
Sargon has disconnected from the game, and Earth Spirit has actually paused out the game. So it looks like the game is actually going to be paused out. So I guess it gives us a chance to chat to the guys on stream. If there's any kind of beautiful insights that we've missed out, I see we're asking for our big boy player on the stream to give us your insights.
The Adam himself.
The Adistam.
The Adistam.
So if there's anything we've missed out or anything you guys would like to add, I mean,
just a little bit of a shout out to some of the key people here. I mean, shout out to Wilson, obviously, who's all the way in Italy right now. Believe it or not.
Don't forget my coffee, bro.
Don't forget your coffee.
I've asked him to bring me coffee back.
Did he ask you to bring? I asked him to bring me confetti, which is a Italian sweet. It's really nice.
Oh, nice.
There's sfogliatella and pastiera. It's like it's two flavors you literally only find there. It's really, really nice. But anyway, moving on. Obviously, then we have Mr. Celeb over there as well. And then I'll shout out to you as well, Jabba, assuming that you're on the stream.
Oh, thanks. I've actually been keeping the guys entertained, actually moaning at me because they think that I'm not doing my job. Well, let me just put it straight, guys. I can multitask like the rest of them. Boom! That just happened.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, what do you think of... I just want to go back to the draft here. I mean, the Underlord. We've seen him picked and banned quite a bit, but... he's never been successful.
Do you know what? If an Underlord's picked...
we haven't casted a game where an Underlord's been on a draft and actually won.
Or has actually been a dramatic fact. I agree. And this is...
he hasn't had an impact on the game whatsoever.
So now, like, if an Underlord's picked, then I want to see heroes like Beastmaster. You've got the Hawk. You can actually TP onto the Hawk and you can, like, say, surprise, mother! Fruit salad, and then, or you get a Larkin, you pick up the Larkin, you send your wolves around, you jump on the Larkin wolves, you pick up a Visage. You're picking up a hero that's one of his major attributes is the Dark Rift, and you can be around the map at any moment, as opposed to using him as a defensive hero to try and get your whole team back to base.
Well, Lycan's back in captain mode now, so
yeah. So I mean, that's
it's weird. Like we haven't seen him because he is like that early game pusher, early game pick off guy as well. I mean, Lycan when he snowballs gets that early medallion, that type of thing. It's actually a pretty effective hero. So I mean, it is meta relevant and just especially with the Underlord pick. I mean, like you said, you take your wolves and you teleport it. You put it somewhere sneaky and then teleport your entire team in with the Underlord. It's pretty legit. Look, his aura is amazing. He's got a beautiful root now as well. That, I mean, with the changes, it doesn't just root once; it roots consistently if you're in that thing. And with the Ember Spirit coming in, rooting people with his Searing Chains. I mean, the Underlord stun can, just put that on top of it as the Ember Spirit root comes off, and you've got the team pretty much locked down and disabled. Earth Spirit comes in with his ulti, I mean, obviously Terrorblade, the whole combo wombo thing. It could work out really, really well. I think one of the major things as well for Underlord is that his damage reduction when he casts his W, that with the tower pushes you can reduce the team's damage that is pushing. So Underlord for me is a very good hero. It just hasn't had that impact that we wanted to see. It's kind of like how Disrupt is an amazing hero, but it hasn't had impact because with the Disruptor you need that follow up, especially when he drops a Static Storm. With his ulti and everything, of course, Disrupt is always good because he has Glimpse, but it's just in the Masters, well, the games that we've casted, heroes like that just haven't had impact.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, for me, it's just an underwhelming hero so far. There's better offlane picks, I know Centaur's being banned out here. We've got Weaver being banned out here, but I mean, there are still offlane heroes that I feel like, it does, these heroes that you can pick that are just better. I don't know.
Oh, well, okay, so I've just got feedback why the game's taking so long. Sargon has a 500 meg update.
Oh, nice. Thanks,
Yeah.
Sargon.
All right. So we're going to keep you guys entertained, relaxed, talk a little bit of nonsense, try and see what's happening with the draft. But like as you were saying, Underlord has been one of those underperforming heroes. We just haven't seen him have the kind of impact that you'd want to see. I mean, even if you're going to pick him up as an offlaner, there's many other options that you could actually jump to. I mean, Nature's Prophet. We've seen him being picked up in the international scene quite a bit, been quite successful. Yeah. We've got the Sand King that does really well. That would probably do reasonably well, especially up against the Ventus lineup. I mean, they've got the Axe that potentially could be up against the offlaner for Mythic. They've got the Magnus that potentially be in that lane. So I mean, you've got the Clockwork that also doesn't get chosen out. They did ban out the Centaur Warrunner in the draft, so that wasn't an option. But I think they had other options though.
Look, if we wanted to see a Clockwork, we probably would have seen it with the Shadow Fiend, since, you know, they do that whole in the fountain, cogs first, necromancy first, and then they deny the cogs before the game starts. If you do it properly, you can get 10 souls before the game even begins, as in before the creep spawns. So, I mean, that's something really, really cool. A little, like, you know, loophole in the Dota 2 world for Shadow Fiend Clockwork. But yeah, I think Underlord, instead of Underlord, maybe a Clockwork would have been better.
Yeah.
Here.
Look, hopefully they can make lies out of us. But I mean, for those of you that are just joining us on stream, myself and Succubus have really been doing a lot of casting during the Masters in leg 1, and hopefully one of these teams will actually make themselves get themselves into the Masters. But from what we've seen from the Master players, the top tier Master teams didn't even pick up Underlord, and they actually allowed the teams to pick up Underlord because it was actually kind of easy to deal with. And I mean, I don't know if teams have actually learned to play around the Underlord or against him. I mean, you can really abuse the Underlord. You can really help. You can really let him get the farm that he needs in the lane. But when it comes to the late part of the game, what's he going to do up against the big hitters? You know, he becomes an aura holder for you, or a utility holder.
If he gets strong enough, yeah. I mean, he can get his GG boots into pipe, into, you know, AC, Shivas, you know, you can build all those aura things. The beautiful aura monster. But I mean, I feel like other heroes can do that as well, and just better. I mean, we maybe try a Broodmaster again. I don't know. You know, it still feels better than an Underlord. I don't know.
Well, we're gonna have to wait and see if Mythic can actually can make it work. I mean, obviously, even Lycan, I mean, we mentioned it earlier. I mean, instead of picking up the Underlord, you got the Lycan chase down heroes for days. But look, I think we've abused the Underlord pickup. Maybe the boys can actually make it work, and maybe it's something that actually works really well with their draft. That pit is also ridiculous. I mean, if Axe jumps in, gets the call off, you drop the pit, and he's pretty much going to be rooted in place for quite a while. The Magnus, same thing. If he drops the pit on his enemy team, Magnus jumps in, can't actually jump out.
Guys, Sargon is back in Dota 2.
Yeah.
No, but honestly, like, okay, you're going to pick the Dazzle, right? But you're not banning out the Axe because you assume, okay, they've got a Magnus, they've got a Shadow Fiend, they need a carry now, so, I mean, we're safe picking the Dazzle. No, you're not. You need to still ban out the Axe. So, but one thing that I want to say, though, is maybe just try pick, like, a Crystal Maiden with a Terrorblade. I love that combination. Like,
the reflection,
it is amazing.
What's it? The refraction into obviously the CM does all the nonsense. But look, Dazzle's Poison Strike is also not.
No, it's not
Poison
bad.
Touch.
It's nice. Poison Touch, yeah. It's nice against the Axe, but I just feel like Metamorphosis and all the things that make Terrorblade amazing just combos up so nicely with the Crystal Maiden. I mean, you've got the Root, aka the Freeze. Then of course you've got the Crystal Nova. You've got so many slows for the. I mean, there's just like no getting away from the Terrorblade with the Crystal Maiden. There really, really isn't. But I mean, you've got the Earth Spirit, so if he can, gank basically, maybe Terrorblade can get something off. But yeah,
I hear the unpause. I hear the unpause in my headset. You guys probably heard it too. So it looks like we're going to get underway eventually. Also something we don't even talk about is IO in the draft. such a pesky bloody little hero. They're not going to be able to bring down anyone or essentially do a huge amount of damage with the IO in tow. It's going to take a lot to bring down the SF. It's going to take a lot to bring down the Magnus because of the IO, let alone of the potential roaming gank. And I suppose with the relocate and the Dark Rift, it's going to make for a very interesting game regardless. So
I think you're going to have to roam around with the IO axe, that type of thing. Magnus can't really work until he's actually got, you know, RP, maybe some items online, because Axe is more of the pick-off hero, where Magnus doesn't really, you know, single target pick-off heroes that well. He's got a huge combo set for team fights, but unless he builds into that, then I don't think it will work. I think the Vivid and the Traxian are going to be the ones doing the relocating in most of the time. Even the SF. I mean, we can have Becky when he gets like level 12, level 13, that type of thing. We can see Traxian maybe relocating SF to explode someone with the Requiem. So it could work really, really nicely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, what I'm worried.
I don't see it happening with the Magnus too much. Oh, but instant dewarding it for Sargon and Precious Petunia. Shame, poor Sargon. He buys a Sentry and Petunia takes the money. Yo, what a greedy guy, hey?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the life of a support. But also something else is that, I mean, the IO gets to relocate off. Typically, you're going to have a blink up on the Magnus. You're going to have a blink up on the Axe. So as soon as they get relocated in, you're going to blink in, and their tether's going to get broken. So, you know, it's the only person that's really going to make sense to actually tether to is going to actually be the SF. And it's going to be a Becky SF. So it's going to be a mid SF. It is going to be a safe lane Axe. It's going to be an off lane Magnus. Okay, so a little bit of our thinking has gone awry here. And in the meantime, we do have Sia just giving a little bit of love to Monster. So, I mean, we've done the introductions in game 1 and game 2.
Yeah, let's do it again. Why not?
These guys, the guys need the exposure. But in the meantime, hold that thought. Crazy boulder coming in here from a Monster. Trying to find out. See how we're gonna climax this dramatically here because it's action, and it's gonna be chilled. All right, regardless. False alarm, guys. False alarm.
Well, unfortunately, the Ogre does hit a little bit harder than a Monster, but he does have that Orb of Venom to benefit. That was a weird boulder. It's like, okay. But yeah,
no, this is better. This is a lot better now. It's
going to be nice and annoying in the lane here for the SF. Just maybe get the SF onto like level 3, level 2.
100%. Much better than the first game. First game they left the SF to solo against the Ember. This time around, rotating the Ogre.
SF won his lane pretty damn hard against the Ember Spirit in game 1. So I think he was the only one on the side of Ventus Gaming to win his lane in game 1. But anyway,
jungling
guys,
wisp. Sorry,
jungling wisp. It's really good.
Okay, let's introduce the teams. Let's introduce the teams, and then we'll come back to it. All right.
Oh, I haven't seen people do this in a while. It's nice to see this again.
All right. So introducing a Mythic versus Ventus this time around for the side of the Radiant is gonna be Mythic Gaming. We've got Levi gonna be out on our Underlord. We hope to see big things from him. I think in the beginning part of the game we kind of trashed it a little bit. Hopefully he does turn us into lies. In the mid lane we've got Gunshin playing our Ember Spirit. In the bot lane, we have got Precious Petunia going to be playing out our Terrorblade. We have got our Sargon on the Dazzle, hoping to get those clutch graves off. And last but not least, it is going to be as the A Monster on the Earth Spirit. Please.
Well, here, hold on. There's a bit of trouble here for the Levi. Luckily, Vivid does not have call yet, so he should be just fine. Anyway, guys, without further ado, we will have Vivid on the Axe, going 1v1 against Levi on the Underlord. Then in the mid lane, we're going to have Becky on the Shadow Fiend. Oh, wait, no, yeah, we're going to have... I'm actually introducing the right team, yeah. Becky on the Shadow Fiend. Oh, well, mistakes were made. Okay. We have Seer on that lovely Ogre Magi. The jungling IO is played by the Traxian himself. And last but not least, we have the Thing Fang on the offlane Magnus.
Well, I mean,
almost messed that one up.
no, you did pretty well.
But
You did pretty well.
Going back to the jungling IO, I mean, it was done a lot back in the day, and it's still really, really good. I mean, you just level up those spirits. He's got the lovely iron talent, a very, very quick bottle as well. So he's been able to get that mech GG boots, that type of thing up relatively fast. And I mean, having an early bottle onto a IO is a beautiful thing. So yeah, I mean, I really like this. It makes a lot of sense. He's going to get really fast levels, going to be able to rotate and do a lot around the map, and have items to back it up as well. I used to love seeing this.
I really like this. I mean, it's not going to underlevel your IO. Your IO is going to be so up there with the rest of the cores.
In the old jungle, before they changed the map, it was really, really nice because you could stack quite a few camps and then jungle like 3 camps at once, basically, with your spirits. Yeah, you can stack two. You can stack 2 at the same time in the jungle here, and you can just farm it up with your spirits. It's really, really good. Yeah, it's one of the heroes that actually can jungle really, really, really fast. A lot of people don't know it because a lot of people don't play IO. But yeah, I mean, a monster gone on here has got everything on cooldown. It looks like he's actually going to just go down.
Oh wow, Traxon picking up first blood as well. Looks like Fury Fire is the way to go, guys. Get those spirits locked and loaded, and easy kills. I mean, that's
very, very easy kills. It looks like they did try go onto the Vivid, and then Traxian just realizing, okay, we can actually just make a kill here. Teep is into the top lane over there, and I mean, everything on cooldown for poor aim monster, already being slowed down by a level 3 battle hunger. That's ridiculous. So yeah, movement slow is at, damage per second is like 32 right now. Movement slow is 12%. It's going to stay there. But I mean, jeez, I mean, you slow down that much, then you've got Traxian coming in to just save the day as well. You have no escape now. So it's pretty much dead Earth Spirit over there. He is trying to rotate around the map. I mean, I can give him that. He's been mid constantly. Then he's going to try get a kill onto the Axe with Levi. I mean, probably going to rotate to the safe lane relatively soon because they could make a nice easy kill here with Poison Touch into Boulder, and then of course Metamorphosis is now on level 2, so I mean, could be a relatively easy kill. Maybe not on the Magnus because he has got the Skewer, but now that Sia's down here, they could definitely make a pick off.
Well, he's a tanky little bugger. What, he's got 8 armor in the beginning where the Dazzle's only got 2.
I mean, like, if he slows them with Poison Touch and then the Metamorphosis into, Conjure Image, all that good stuff. But oh no, as I said, that Petunia's in a spot of trouble, getting blocked by Sargon.
Sargon, you blocking beauty. It looks like he actually wanted to try and block out the enemy team. Eventually, you got it right.
He blocked out Petunia twice there. It was almost the death of him, but yeah, luckily nothing did happen. Okay, Sia's rune got stolen, so making that long walk of shame for nothing, really.
We do have a monster sitting here as well. Going to steal that one as well. A monster just getting the rotations around, picking up a little bit of bounty here, bounty there. Boulder. No, okay, he's just bouldering up there. But Sia's going to spot them out, trying to deter here. They does throw down the boulder. Going to be able to just slow him down, silence him up, stun him a bit. Sia could be in a little bit of trouble. Traxian rocks up to the party. Going to try and keep Sia alive. They may change targets. They're not. The root is out. Sia in chains. Flame Guard. Right click down by Monster. Bringing down Sia. And pretty easy work. Traxian just decided, listen.
Is not going to help you with that. That's nice magic damage over there for him. Becky, once again, running away with the mid lane versus Ember Spirit, and sitting at the highest last hits right now as well. I mean, literally, like, Ember Spirit has half the amount of CS that Becky has right now. Just, when are you gonna, like, not pick your Ember Spirit and not be able to ban SF? Like, either you ban the SF or, you pick it a little bit later. Yeah. I don't know. It just feels like he's just getting shut down. This is now the second game where, I mean, Becky's honestly, he's actually, if you look at all 3 games, he's actually won mid every single game. So one-on-one, Becky is better than Kunshin, if I want to say that, in some respects, with lane control, last game, that type of things.
Oh,
Did
sorry.
I miss something?
Yeah, top lane.
I saw that.
Okay, all right. Let me tell you what happened. Because that was super interesting. So, Vivid decided to become kind of aggressive, running into the pit here. threw down the fireballs from only God knows where into this zone. Axe gets pitted up in this spot here. Couple of right clicks coming out from Levi. Axe decides, no, listen, he's doing a lot of damage, and Underlord decides to back off. When he backs off, we did get the bouldering smash coming forward from a monster. One right click and down went the axe. Very drawn out explanation, but I was just having a lot of fun explaining what was happening. But Vivid picking up the kill onto Sargon, gets a double kill, and Vivid eventually going down to Precious Petunia. How much HP did Fling Flang live on? And very little HP as well.
Oh, very, very little. That was hilarious though. Like, Dazzle's like, okay, I'm going to shallow grave. You're like, nope. Culling back.
Not today. Do you know, sometimes it works because he doesn't have mana, and it actually keeps you alive.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. It's just a bit unfortunate, but it's actually quite funny. Sorry to interrupt you there.
No, we were...
But yeah, I must say, I'm seeing a lot of, like, it's kind of like deja vu for the old days. I mean, I see a jungling Wisp, which I haven't seen in a long time. Then we have an Axe, leveling Battle Hunger only and not Call.
no.
That's something you don't see often anymore either. I mean, I remember I used to play Axe, and you would literally get Urn of Shadows, and you would level your Battle Hunger, like literally just max level.
Yeah.
You would Urn of Shadows someone and Battle Hunger them, and they would just die from full HP. It's just like that. Any hero.
Oh, wow.
that was like back when like Battle Hunger was exceptionally strong. It doesn't quite work like that anymore, but it's just weird to see these types of things happening now. I mean, he's obviously going to get called now. I mean, when he gets his blink dug up and all those good things. But yeah, the Battle Hunger has been serving him really, really well. Yeah, I just like, it's nice to, it's kind of like a memory,
Throwback Dota.
The jungling IO, the max level Battle Hunger. If we see an Urn of Shadows now, I'm gonna call GG. I'm like, okay. But yeah, it brings back memories, man. It really does.
No, I don't know how much you love your axe, so we can trust the bus's item decisions on the axe.
Well, that was like 5-6 years ago, maybe.
You can trust me.
Longer.
You can trust my calls on the techies.
Battle Hunger used to be ridiculous. It really, really did. So literally, I'm not even joking. You would like 1,500, 2,000 HP hero. You literally just Battle Hunger and Urn of Shadows. Goodbye. And then you would make sure they couldn't deny anything because you would spin. It was absolutely hilarious. People used to hate doing that. Well, hate playing against it, but yeah.
It was such an exploit, and I mean, if you find an exploit in Dota, it's the best. Take it out on someone and make it work. Oh, but it looks like mid there. They want to make a play. Monster rolling in. The throw down the pits, trying to catch out Becky. Does get rooted. Throws out the Requiem. We do have traction getting in there. Got the locate in 5 seconds. We do lose. Seer on the Ogre Magi. Dark Rift. Is there enough to actually bring him down? He's trying to run into the pit, and he actually gets teleported back.
Oh no, mistakes were made. But I must say, that's the TP in by Traxion, Glimmer caping up the Shadow Fiend while tethered to him. Absolutely brilliant. It saved his life. So, I mean, Traxion really, really coming out with the plays there with the Shadow Fiend. Very early Glimmer cape as well. Benefit of a jungling IO. But yeah, I must say, like, that was very clutch as well. I mean, SF was pretty much done for there. So, very, very, very quick thinking there by Traxion. But yeah, I mean, that's the role of the sport. You force off your teammates, you glimmer cape them up, and I mean, you have the added benefit of the bottle as well, so you can just heal your teammate up while you tether to him. So it's really, really nice. A monster taking quite a bit of damage from those balls over there.
That's what she said.
I knew that was going to happen. As I said it, I knew that was going to happen.
You gotta be smarter to catch me out.
I knew it. I can't just say things, I have to think about them first, and unfortunately that doesn't always happen.
No. But I mean, don't you? I mean, when you have a jungle on the team, don't you fall into the trap where, like, you're doing so well in the jungle that you just don't want to leave the jungle? Don't you fall into that trap? Like, I mean,
when you jungle, you don't want to leave the jungle.
Yeah, because you're farming really well. You're getting items, and like things are going really well.
I really hate junglers that just stay in the jungle. Like, for me, like, if you're gonna play a jungle hero, you need to play an aggressive jungle hero. Like, you need to farm 2 or 3 creep camps, gank, go farm again, go gank again. That's the way you jungle. I mean, first of all, you get I know you're not getting as much CS as in last hits, but you're going to level faster by ganking. You're going to get more money from ganking, and you're also going to escalate your team further. So definitely a hero popping out of the jungle every now and again, while and farming is very, very good. I absolutely love heroes that gank when they jungle. But double root onto the Levi. He's going to try get the hell out of dodge.
Oh, is it enough? They're too slow. The call does come out. Dunk, my boy! And Kobe Bryant rocks up to the party, getting the dunk off Levi. Good night, sweetheart. That was super close. I'm telling you, another second and he would have been out of there.
Yeah. Ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch. And it must be said, I mean, we're about 400 gold away from the Axe Blink Dagger as well. Now starting to level up points into that call. So you're going to be seeing a nice little blade mail very, very soon. Oh, call getting cancelled out here, though.
Oh, there comes the poison touch from Sargon. Got no mana to do anything else after the back of that. They do root up Vivid. Precious Petunia trying to right-click him out, but Vivid trying to look for more. It's not going to happen, and we're going to lose the Vivid. So going to hold him back a little bit on that that blink. They do lose the Dire Courier as well on the back of that.
It's a bit unfortunate. I mean, we did have Traxxon come in and Glimmercape the Axe, but he decided to call them after he got saved, basically. I mean, of course, he can't get away from it. Hasn't got a Blink Dagger available to him, so he can't just run the other way and blink out. But I mean, there could have been an option to maybe tether to the Axe and TP him back to base, but unfortunately that was also on cooldown, so not much they can do there.
Yeah, it's going to make things, but in the mid lane, they do lose the mid lane of the mid tier 1 tower. Come on, Jono, English.
English, please.
English. And what is this? SF a little bit out of bounds. Fine, Sargon. Smash my raise my boy and goes down, giving Becky and us 303 gold.
No, and I mean, if the Axe is not there to contest the Terrorblade, I mean, he's just going to push towers down pretty damn fast. I know his farm is pretty decent, and he's got his Dragonlance up, got that Yasha on his way to his Manta. Maybe I would finish off the Hurricane Pike first, just so he's got a little bit of mobility. Yes, he's got Metamorphosis, he's got his Illusions and all that good stuff. He's also got his Sunder, but I mean, if the Axe is not there, then definitely I would opt to push with this Terrorblade. They do, however, still have the Magnus to worry about, who is not yet got his Blink Dagger. So, I mean, he's very close, 50 gold away. So, start seeing some plays from the Magnus very, very soon. He opted to go for his Arcane Boots first, so he has mana to do just more than his combo. Because, I mean, without mana boots, you're kind of stuck without mana. You can cast, like, 1 or 2 of your combos, and then you don't have mana to do anything else. So, very, very good item choice here. He is getting a very quick Blink Dagger. And, I mean, if you think about it, Mana Boots, Blink Dagger in 16 minutes, it's still decent timing. So,
I think he had it at 14 minutes in game 1.
Yeah, so it's still decent timing, and he's got Mana Boots on top of it. So I mean, very, very decent timing on that. Axe also got the Blink Dagger available. Probably going to go for that Blade Mail next. Don't see him going for the rushing the Crimson Guard just
this
yet.
is brave.
They don't really have to worry about the right click from the Terrorblade just yet. He doesn't right click that hard at the moment. Look, it is pretty damn devastating. I mean, he's right clicking for about 220 damage as a Terrorblade, so it is still pretty harsh. So Crimson Guard is still a valid item against it, but I do feel like Blade Mail is going to be doing way more against the illusions and all those good things, so expect to see that. Yeah, this should be an easy rush. I mean, you've got an IO to keep you healed up, give you more attack speed. You've got the Magnus and power, so I mean, Becky's doing a lot. Becky's doing, what, 240 damage in power and, of course, you know, extra attack speed. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful damage coming out there as well. And now he's got the beautiful Ages of the Immortal in his name. He's got the Shadow Blade up. He's got the Dragon Lance as well. Going now for that Manta style. Looks like there is... Has he finished the Yasha yet? I don't think so. No, he has not. Okay, so... What?
Kunshin?
You're sneaky. You sneaky bugger.
I didn't even see what happened. I mean, I just saw.
He off the IO. Basically dropped 2 remnants. Exploded onto the IO. Okay, well, first he came in and rooted him. Basically, come on. A flame god, and then he tried to tether away, and then just got 2 remnants onto him as well. So, yeah, I think he did pick up an Invis rune there. the kitchen, so it was very easy to get in and out. And then obviously leaving a remnant all the way back, almost to his own jungle. So easy pick off, easy out. So yeah, but that was very, very sneaky of him because the entire enemy team was literally right there. Anyone stuns or disabled him, and that would have been cancelled. Yeah, so risky, but it worked out.
I mean, at this point in time, it's the plays that those kind of plays that actually like just get you in the lead, those risky ones, and it paid off. I mean, he got the kill for free of charge, basically picking up that IO. They're going to smoke up now. They're running right past their shrine. They did have a ward in place, but they smoked up. Not going to see it. They drop it down the scan. They know exactly where each other is. The Radiant also dropped a scan as well. So they're going to just back out. They're going to retreat out for the moment, and they're going to get nothing off the back of this.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate, but I mean, look, it's relatively even, so to speak. I mean, you've got 6-7 kills on each side. I mean, let's look at the player net worths here. We've got the Terrorblade sitting at just about 10k net worth, and then you've got the SF sitting very close to him at 9.4, almost just like about 300 net worth behind him. So if you look at the cores, they are relatively close. I mean, the Ember Spirit sitting at almost 8k, where the Axe is almost sitting at 7. So I mean, the cores on each side are doing really well. And Magnus though falling a bit behind at 5k net worth, but I mean, he can always just catch up with a few RPs, and I think that's going to happen now since the Blink Daggers are up, the Wombo combos are there. They'll be able to do a lot here. But I mean, if you look at the towers are relatively even except for one tier 2, and they're probably gonna be able to get another one here. So
I would have expected to see the Echo Saber on the Magnus.
On the Magnus,
it looks like he's going 4-staff. I thought maybe he'd...
Blink 4-staff for me is also really, really good. Blink in, RP, skewer people in. You can able to 4-staff out as well. Especially, it's also good against roots, because I mean, you can't really do anything against root. You can still 4-staff away from it. So I mean, against the Ember, it's actually really it's really nice. So 4-staff makes a lot of sense as well. But it's still it's a normal paper build, on Magnus. Blink 4-staff into Refresher. It's just the normal thing to do. But yeah.
I mean, the side of Ventus is lacking a lot of right-click damage. I mean, the biggest right-clicker they have is going to be Becky. So, I mean, besides all that right-click damage, there's not much. And you'd probably want to say, well, Mag, you start also turning into a right-clicker after your 4-staff, perhaps, because he's going for it. Go for the crit. But Kunshan drops the Veil. Doesn't actually manage to land the Syrian Chains, and he just gets himself out of there. TP's out immediately. So, yeah, I mean, you'd want a little bit more right click. I mean, looking at their lineup as well, they do really good against physical damage. Or, I mean, the damage coming out from Ventus isn't actually that a lot. I mean, IO, typically an amping hero. Ogre Magi,
but I mean,
typically...
SF is right-clicking pretty damn hard by himself. Then, of course, you've got Empower just to give him extra damage. Then you've got the IO tethered to him that gives him extra attack speed. So, I mean...
So SF 4 round 1?
Yeah, SF is right-clicking pretty damn hard right now. Then you've got the extra benefit of having the Axe that now has a completed Blade Mail. Not there with him just yet, but the Axe does huge amounts of damage as well, especially this early in the game. And Magnus can always transition into that carry role if he really, really needs to, but we've got an empowered Axe and empowered SF. It's pretty damn good. So, I mean, you don't have to worry about damage right now. This is not about winning the late game. This is, the snowballing heroes that, you need to be able to do that. I mean, Becky, I don't think he can actually out-carry the Terrorblade and the Ember Spirit, but as I say that, huge engagement here.
Oh, RP on 2, forcing them back into the base. There comes the Requiem, gonna pop him. Levi, very low HP, gonna get graved up. Axe trying to see if he can close the gap. He doesn't, and Vivid gets rooted up. Comes another stun coming out from Monster. Eventually, they do lose Levi. There comes the surrender, keeping him alive here in the back lines. And they eventually do lose Precious Petunia. They lose Becky. Vivid, can he make it out of there? But the headshot coming out of nowhere. Monster. What a monster. That was ridiculous. Did you see that headshot?
That was a maze balls. Yeah, I did see it, yeah. I mean, that was an exceptionally good fight, considering that, RP landed on, what 3 heroes there?
I think it was 2 and a couple of illusions, like a ton of illusions.
Yeah, sure, yeah, okay, fine, fair enough. Then I mean, like, but even that, then the Underlord did his job. He got his Pit of Malice on pretty much, like in the middle of that fight, dropping down the Firestorm as well, so they're doing a reduced amount of damage. It was just like perfect team fight for them, to be honest. They did save their tier 2, they did lose a tier 2 as well, so I mean, sure, they lost 4 heroes, but they did end up getting the tier 2 bottom, and they didn't end up getting the tier 2 top. So, I mean, they did defend pretty nicely, if you want to put it that way, but losing 4 heroes for it is just unfortunate. The team fight just didn't go their way. Too many things just went wrong there for them.
Yeah, I mean, it was a decent RP, but the Requiem into Requiem as well was massive as well.
Yeah,
it just felt.
It didn't reach the heroes. It reached like 2 heroes, the Requiem, so it didn't really have that huge impact. And of course, you've got a very tanky lineup. I mean, you've got the mechanism as well that came into the mix. So I mean, the Terrorblade, I don't know if he got his Sunder off there. I couldn't even see that far ahead. But the Junior now getting gone on here. Sunder is available for him. Can he get it off? Yes,
Yeah, he gets it off into Sia, very low HP. He's going to have to back off. Grave actually been popped out there from Sargon the Dazzler. Throws down the fires from the sky, just slowing the onslaught here from the side of the Dire. And Ventus, they're going to have to just hold tight for the moment. I mean, as soon as you get that surrender off, it puts you in a little bit of a precarious position. But Traxon's going to just charge up Sia for the moment. And Becky, they don't have detection just yet. A Monster really close to Becky, not doing enough. He's only got 31 Necromasteries to himself, but there comes out the Magnetize. I'm bringing down 2. Could it be a 3rd? Vivid being silenced up. Blade Mail not even doing enough. Hits in the deck. A Monster going to get denied there from neutral creeps. Very well played there from you, Mr. Monster Man. And TP out from the Seer. Can Fling Flang make it out? Easy blink away, and he does make it through. So
that Earth Spirit A Monster did exceptionally well there. Like
wrecked.
He practically won that team fight for them. Of course, Presbyterian doing an inordinate amount of damage, taking out that axe so quickly. Levi obviously, doing what he can with his Firestorm and Pit of Malice. Oh no, but gets skewered back into the base here.
To the shrine. He's not going to be able to bring down Fling Flang, even though it was super close. Levi's still also super tanky with that one
so
passive
tanky.
as he's, Atrophy Aura?
Yeah, the Atrophy Aura. It's nice to see that he's actually leveling up Pit of Malice. I mean, you normally see the Atrophy Aura and the Firestorm getting maxed with very few levels in Pit of Malice, but he's opted to go for maxing the Pit and the Firestorm first over the Aura. It's not what you see often on the hero. People don't normally skill it that way, but it seems to be working out for him this time. And now he's got a full mech and pipe up for his team, going for the Blade Mail next, and then if slowly but surely he'll be going for that GG boot as well. So doing very, very well. I mean, this could be the first Underlord game we see win.
Very possibly, but let's not count our chickens just yet. Precious Petunia, he's looks like he's building towards his Scuddy, so not actually going to finish up the Hurricane. Pop up and ready on Levi. Almost got his GG boots as well. Got mech and arcanes as well. I'm just going through a couple of the item progressions here for most of the heroes. Anything else particular that stands out? Shadow Blade, a Silver Edge. Sorry, Shadow Edge on Becky now as well.
The silver edges.
It's going to remove any passive on the heroes for the side of...
I think he's going to try disable the Atrophy Aura at least. Have that out of the team fight, because, I mean, don't really have passives on the Terrorblade to worry about so much. Neither do you have on the Ember Spirit. Dazzle as well. The only real aura he can really hope to do something with is the Atrophy Aura, to take that away. But again, Silver Edge does give you a longer cooldown, a shorter thing, and also gives you nice stats. But oh no, we have Dazzle out here in the mix, and Sargon very, very dead, and they're gonna look for another kill, and they find it onto this lovely little Underlord over here, and then call's gonna be Rosh, and they can't really contest it now with 2 of the main heroes that do all the healing for them is down.
I mean, that was a big problem. Sargon getting caught out, made easy work there, picking up the Underlord just outside of the pit. They have to actually stand back, and they just have to let Ventus actually rush here. Slider Fist coming out, not doing enough damage there. Maybe trying to see if he could actually steal up that Aegis. Doesn't happen. Immediate smoke out, and A Monster, I don't know why he was there. Should have got back immediately. Dunk goes the big boy. 3 down here for the side of Mythic. and take your foot off the accelerator for a second, and Ventus will punish you.
And all Dazzle wanted to do was ward. I mean, he did get the ward on the high ground there, but he lost his life for it. I mean, that's the thing about supports. Like, it annoys me sometimes when people just go think, okay, it's safe to go ward by myself. No, it's not. Half the time, supports are going to get picked off when they go ward alone. So, I mean, ask your team to come with you, or at least when you're pushing a tower, then you go ward. You know, you don't go ward alone, especially when you don't know what's on the high ground. I mean, trying to walk up onto the high ground without knowing what's there is very dangerous. And unfortunately, he got picked off as well as his Underlord, and they just got an easy rush out of that. And then, you know, they got another pick off mid on the Earth Spirit. So, I mean, you know, there's not much you can really do. But now they're going to be on the return here, trying to catch out the Axe.
Requiem not doing too much damage. Becky hiding in the backlines. Becky has been silent. Vivid has been silenced out. 3-man RP. Okay, this is a big moment here. Silence coming out from the Earth Spirit. Going to do a little bit of work. There comes the Surrender. Slide of Fist. Going to keep 2. Rooted will be. Becky does eventually go down. We lose this here. Coming back to life. Is it enough to actually bring him down? Shadow Blade on cooldown is actually going to cool the Blade down. But there is a sentry in vicinity, and Precious Petunia picking up himself a double kill. Almost a 5-man team wipe. The only one to make it through is going to be Traxian on the Wisp. It's all up to you, buddy. It's all up to you to defend this. Much better team fight coming out here for the side of Mythic. Played it right. Axe being a little bit too aggressive, jumping onto the Underlord. I mean, he's actually really tanky.
The Underlord's exceptionally tanky. It's just like, it's one of those heroes, you know, it is a inherently tanky hero. And now with
just
the pipe
can't
and
burst
the
him,
well, you can't really burst him down. But I mean, if you talk about tanky, look at Petunia. He's got that Skadi up as well as the Dragon Lance and Advantage, so his stats is going absolutely crazy at the moment. He's got very, very good stats. Of course, the make, the pipe, the heals from the Dazzle as well. He's got a lot of survivability at the moment.
Well, Becky did buy back. He's trying to see if he can pick off something for his buyback. He's not going to find anything. So maybe a little bit of an aggressive buyback there. Maybe wait for him to actually commit a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I think they got a beautiful RP off. They got a huge, massive amounts of damage with Becky as well. And then Sunder, you know, just get killed. And then all of a sudden, Becky by himself, surrounded by 3 heroes. Not much they can do.
Yeah, it sounds like one of those bad movies that have gone wrong where the Becky music's like chicka chicka wow wow.
No, Jabba.
You know, that's funny. You know, like other people would laugh and like I get nothing from you. Like nothing.
Sorry.
You're a hard crowd. You're a hard crowd to please.
Hey. You're not funny. You're not funny. I'm sorry. I'm joking.
I thought that was like really funny. Like I should have a comedy show of me, like doing me. Right, lol.
Again.
No, I'm so good. I'm so good. I'm so good.
I mean,
okay, but it feels like we're stuck at this moment now where.
Vivid now, let's just look at his skill build here. Okay, so he's gone for the 6 strength into 75 damage. Okay, would have gone for 250 health. If he goes to the movement speed, I'm literally I quit Dota, like, because I mean you get.
Okay, well he's really close. He's 3/4 way, but hang on. There looks like a little bit of an engagement here. GCM, that RP out of nowhere catches 2. We're gonna lose here. Gonna lose Traxian. Boulder getting out of there. Fling Flang can't find him. In the meantime, Becky does go down. Precious Petunia wrecking.
Monster's actually doing a lot of work this game. I mean, his slaughter was questionable last game for me. Didn't do that well on it. But this Earth Spirit game, he's really, really doing well. But I must say, like, fighting into the Pit of Malice and the Firestorm, they just keep fighting on it. Like, they're not running away from it or anything. They're fighting, like, underneath it. And then Aim Bonser just is able to drop his Magnetize and do whatever he wants.
Oh, wow, they're not going to buy back. They're not going to buy back. Okay, they got one buy back. They've got a buy back from Traxian. They're going to buy back from the Magnus. Oh, my gosh. Okay, Oh, that was crazy. They got a couple of buybacks. A Monster gets graved up from Sargon. Fling Flang jumping back into the base. Redula as Ace Monster. There comes out the steering. The Slide of Fist from Kuntrin. Is it going to be enough? No, it's not going to be enough to bring them down. They brought down tier 4s. Is it enough to bring down the throne? They don't have Becky back. Buyback available on Traxian. Is he going to use it? The throne's going down. There's not much they can do. Are they just going to let them walk away with it? Can Mythic do it? They need a couple of right clicks. It's going to be done. And Mythic walk away with the series.
Holy crap. Okay. Now, guys, just like to remind you all who are watching right now, we have the top 4 Sapphire Cup, the top 4 Emerald Cup teams playing against the 4 lower Master teams, right? They have 2 lives. It's a knockout series. So if you lose a series more than twice, you're out. Die twice and you're out. So Mythic Gaming as well as Ventus haven't lost a game yet. They won both their games yesterday. So now Ventus Gaming has 1 life left. If they lose the next series, they're out. That's then, goodbye. But basically we have literally only 2 teams of 12 teams in this Community Shield can make it to Masters in July. So we might have a new Masters lineup, which is pretty cool, I think. But Mythic Gaming knockout Ventus. Well, didn't knock out Ventus. Ventus still have 1 life left. They lose another series and they're out.
Yeah,
wow.
Ventus potentially won't be a Masters team for much longer. But that crazy finish. You're talking about earlier about some of the way that the cups have been handled and the way that things are going through. There was a couple of chats on the stream talking about it's going to be like a double elim. So the Sapphire, the Emerald Cup,
double elimination.
Yeah, the 2 teams are going to go there, play the 4 lower Master teams. It's going to be that double elim that I saw mentioned in the stream, and it's absolutely crazy where you can get teams that can make their way into the Masters and make it work. But game 3 done, dusted. Mythic take game number 2 with a super interesting finish. I mean, the Dire, look, I felt they were a little bit of under pressure concerning the amount of damage they were outputting, but they were still holding Mythic at bay. And the fact that Mythic went straight for tier 4s after it felt that they were under a little bit of pressure. Or maybe they just felt they could end it there and then. Precious.
I think A Monster Petunia, they had that game. I mean, of course, the Underlord did a lot of work as well. I mean, the amount of heal that he did. But it was just silly because Ventus kept fighting under the Firestorm Pit of Malice and then A Monster's Magnetize. They just kept fighting under that. Rather distance yourself from that, then come back and fight. I mean, we had some brilliant RPs come out. You had Becky, snowballing. I mean, Vivid was doing incredible on the axe. They weren't playing badly. It's just when it came down to the 5-on-5 team fights, I just feel like they just fought under ultis. It's like picking a Death Prophet and then fighting under her ulti. You just don't. You run away from it or you nuke her down as fast as possible. But, unfortunately, Pit of Malice, Firestorm is still going to run even if you kill off that hero. But, yeah, it's just a little bit unfortunate they kept doing that. I think they could have won. But, yeah, I mean, Mythic Gaming go on to the next round. Ventus goes down to the loser bracket, but they're not out of the series just yet. They need to lose. If they lose one more best of 3, then they're out. But yeah, interesting turn of events here. I mean, as I was saying, I love this type of thing where you can see First Division and Prem teams go up against Masters teams and win. I mean, there's a lot of talent out there in South Africa that hasn't been seen yet. And it's nice to see new players. Well, I say new players. These players have been around forever, but, they haven't necessarily been in the light or the fame spot, so to speak. So it's nice to see it.
No, I mean absolutely, and it gives the lower teams in the rest of the ladder and the second div and all of that opportunity and hope that there is a chance to actually get into the Masters and play with the big boys.
There is.
It's not closed.
Ventus, it's not closed. But Ventus, this is the new Ventus, basically. And like we said, it changed halfway through leg 1 in the Masters. So this is none of the original Masters players are actually on Ventus. This was Ventus's sister team, Ventus Black or something like that. So essentially, the Ventus DOTA team is also essentially a Prem or First Division team, if you want to, the players on it, basically. except for Sia. I know Vivid from BZK days. I mean, he was always in the top teams in Dota, took a break from it, and now he's back. But yeah, so I mean, this is kind of an even matchup if you want to put it in perspective. As we saw, it was pretty even games. I mean, one team trashed one, the other one trashed the other. This game was pretty even until, you know, a couple of bad fights taken from Ventus, and, you know, Mythic just ran away with the game. Terror Blade. Precious Petunia.
Terror Blade.
No, it just shows you how close this game was. Really close. It was anyone's game, actually. Like, it came out pretty even. I mean, Ventus was snowballing in the beginning, and then I think they just gave Mythic a little bit too much space, and then it just became even. And Ventus take three bad team fights, and that's it. Goodbye.
Yeah, while you're busy talking to me, I'm also reading the stream, and one comment that was that actually stood out for me was news tomorrow: Ventus adds another 5 teams. Guys, that was funny, but let's behave, peeps. Let's behave. So that's going to round off the draft from us. I think we've got another game tomorrow as the Community Shield progresses. Do we know who we're going to actually cast tomorrow?
We do not know who we're going to cast tomorrow. That's the thing. We know when we're casting. We don't know who we're casting.
All right, so we'll see you guys tomorrow at 8 o'clock for some more Community Shield action. Waiting for some of the other games to actually finish up, and then we'll be able to see who we can actually cast. But a lot of Dota happening this week. So do stay tuned. Do sub the Digital Gaming League YouTube channel to stay in touch with CSGO as well as Dota action. And hopefully we'll see you guys tomorrow. Anything else that we need to mention to our fellow compatriots?
Well, yeah, I mean, people are saying in the chat that it's actually in May, but it's not. I will just read for you exactly what the description of the Community Dota 2 Shield is. Okay, the Community Shield faces 12 teams against each other.
I can actually share it for
final
you.
Qualifier. Yeah, the DGL Masters Cup. Okay. Top 2 finalists will be invited to compete in the Masters Cup on the 29th of June to the 2nd of July, which I believe is EGE. Anyway, the Community Shield consists of the 4 lowest Masters teams, the top 4 teams from the Sapphire and Emerald Showdown Qualifier Cups. As a double elimination event, each team will get 2 lives. Lose twice and you're done. The event will span over the course of 2 weeks, starting on the 3rd of April and finishing on the 16th of April. So this is the cup to be invited to the Masters Cup in July, which I believe is going to be taking place in Cape Town. So yeah, that's the information so far. But as I said, we will not know who we're casting tomorrow until we get the information. But yeah, it depends who wins and loses, I guess.
Well,
there is quite a few matches being played tonight, so we can't cast every game. But yeah,
I know you guys wish we could. I wish there were more jubbers in the world. That was funny.
More jubbers in the world.
that was funny. Like, laugh. All right, guys. So I think it's time for us to get out of here. Let you guys go and sleep. So regardless of what is happening in our beautiful country, stay strong. Do believe, and we hope that you have a great week. And whatever happens, be safe. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. From myself, Jabba. You can follow me on Facebook at Jabba Gaming, on Twitter at Jabba Gaming, on my YouTube channel, Jabba Gaming. Succubus, your deets. I know you've got some exclamation marks and some funky stuff, so throw it out there for the peeps.
My exclamation marks. No, I mean I've got.
I can't remember though, because you're.
Oh god, I have to actually go check. Hold on. Let's go look.
Well, she's on.
Okay, it's at Succubus Chanel on Twitter. Well, at Succubus_Chanel on Twitter. Facebook, I think it's just at Succubus, but I'll double check for it now.
If not, join my page and then you'll find her on my page. There, guys, I made it easy for you.
No talking aloud. I kill you all. Okay, in the Facebook form, it's at Succubus, all capital letters and then small letters DGL. So at Succubus DGL on Facebook and then at Succubus_Chanel on Twitter. Yay, I did it!
Right, we're done. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the games this evening. Congratulations to Mythic. We will see you in the rest of the winners bracket. Unfortunately, Ventus has been relegated to the lower brackets, and best of luck to you there. But yeah, guys, from myself, Jabba, and from Succubus, we wish you a wonderful Tuesday evening. We hope you have an amazing Wednesday, a great Thursday, and a Black Friday safe day, depending on what you guys decide to do regarding what's happening with our country. May it be protected always, and may we all live in peace and happiness. From ourselves, good night, and God bless.
Bye-bye.
How do you achieve your greatness?
There's no margin for error.
No room for mistakes.
You need total control.
Your success is determined by your grit.
It takes thousands of hours perfecting your moves.
And only the strong survive.
You think you've paid your dues?
You think you're ready to enter the arena?
Think again.
This is the Telkom Digital Gaming League,
This is where legends fight till the last second.
where the action explodes straight through your system.
till att spela DOTA.
Vi sitter här i väntan och spelar lite DOTA. I hear you man. Vi sitter här i väntan och spelar lite DOTA. I feel you man. Vi sitter här i väntan och spelar lite DOTA och pushar på och smeker med motståndet vi leker. Vi sitter här i väntan och spelar lite DOTA och springer runt och creepar och motståndet vi slipar. Let's get it on. Vi sitter här i väntan och spelar lite DOTA och pushar på och smeker med motståndet vi leker. Vi sitter här i väntan och spelar lite DOTA och springer runt och creepar och motståndet vi slipar. Vi sitter här i väntan och spelar lite DOTA och pushar på och smeker med motståndet vi leker. Vi sitter här i väntan och spelar lite DOTA och springer runt och creepar och motståndet vi slipar.
Have one on the house.
Vi sitter här i väntan och spelar lite DOTA. I hear you man. Vi sitter här i väntan och spelar lite DOTA. I feel you man. Vi sitter här i väntan och spelar lite DOTA.
That's more like it.
Vi sitter här i väntan och spelar lite DOTA.
Absolute choice.
Vi sitter här i väntan och spelar lite DOTA och pushar på och smeker med motståndet vi leker. Vi sitter här i väntan och spelar lite DOTA och springer runt och creepar och motståndet vi slipar.
Let's get it on.
Vi sitter här i väntan och spelar lite DOTA och pushar på och smeker med motståndet vi leker. Vi sitter här i väntan och spelar lite DOTA och springer runt och creepar och motståndet vi slipar. Vi sitter här i väntan och spelar lite DOTA och pushar på och smeker med motståndet vi leker. Vi sitter här i väntan och spelar lite DOTA och springer runt och creepar och motståndet vi slipar.
Good way. Be happy.
Take a breath, rest your head, close your eyes, you are right. Just lay down to my side. Do you feel my heat on your skin? Take off your clothes, blow up the fire. Don't be so shy, you're right, you're right. Take off my clothes, oh bless me Father. Don't ask me why, you're right, you're right. Hold my step, I'm in command. Can you feel my heat in your hand? And I'm laying down by your side. I taste the sweet of your skin. Take off your clothes, blow up the myself in your holy water, and both my eyes just got so much brighter, and my soul got, oh, here's so much closer. In the dark, I see your smile. Do you feel my heat on my skin? Take off your clothes, blow out the fire. Don't be so shy. You're right, you're right. Take off my clothes. Oh, bless me, Father. Don't ask me why. You're right, you're right. Take off my clothes, blow out the fire. Don't be so shy. You're right, you're right. Take off my clothes and bless me further. Don't ask me why, don't ask me why, don't ask me why.
like a Hellcat.